I'm so loud.
Hello. Welcome back to the VRT Partner Podcast. I'm Janeway, and I'm really sorry for the delay. I'm a moron and can't count. But today, I thought that we could have a discussion around the classes and PvP specifically. So we think this is going to be a long one. And so we're going to move through the classes alphabetically, and we think that this will probably be one of 2 episodes. So this is to sort of allow everyone to have enough time to talk about your class with longer than 3 minutes for both specs. So sorry it's going to take more than one day, but we probably are going to need more than one day. So the idea is today we cover the first half, and next week we'll do the rest of them. So for context, it's been about 2.5 years since the class rework, and the prevailing thought underlying this whole discussion is no matter how strong a class is, that there are things that each class need. So, for example, we have a few classes that just don't perform and can't compete in their sort of assigned PvP specialization, like 1v1, small scale, large scale, or there's the really strong classes who are currently doing really well, but that doesn't mean that their class doesn't have some areas that could use improvement. So, to prepare for today, we posted a Google form in VRT and BDC Discords. I want to thank everybody. We got 121 responses alone in about a week, and I also received about 100 million pings and DMs offering feedback, and I've added all those into this sheet. We did remove some of the more memey ones and some of the ones that were just probably best not to be included. But for those listening right now, in the partners Twitch chat that you're following, can you also offer your thoughts so that we can include you in the discussion, particularly if we're talking about your main? Right, so moving on. To help me today, we've got the partners again. So I'll let them introduce themselves. So we've got Blazian. Hello, Blazian.
Yo, what's going on, chat? What's going on, everybody? It's good to see y'all again. Looking forward to talking about all these great classes. Some that need a little tweak, some that probably need a little buff, but hopefully we'll get through them all, and then we can give this feedback to Pearl Abyss.
Yeah. Hello, Guido. How are you?
What's going on? Thanks for having me. Zero straps, Tracy Weeds. There you go. Let's get on with this classes because this feedback is looking crazy.
It is. J-Ray, hello. How are you?
Hello. Excited for this one. Should be a fun conversation. And yeah, up with Shiesty Gweeds.
What the fuck?
And we've got Live, who has been very kind to sub in for Zect because of time zones. He's probably going to be very, very late, if attend at all. Hi, Live. How are you?
What's up? I'm good. I'm glad to be back. Yeah, I'm Live. Rodello's best friend.
Love you, baby.
And Rodello, hello.
Yeah, it's the young King Rodello. You know what I'm saying? I'll be here. You know what I'm saying? I'm here.
Hell.
Hell yeah!
All right. Also, to help me with today, I have a very, very special co-host. He will help lead us through all the classes, and his name is Kobe. Hello, Kobe.
Hi, my name's
Yo.
my name's Kobe. I'll be your class master today and also be co-host. Hi, my name is Kobe. Okay, great,
So-
guys.
So Kobe is actually known, if you don't know who Kobe is, he's known to be one of a handful of players who is generally accepted as being mechanically sound on nearly every class in the game. He also has experience across PC and console. So thanks, Kobe, for helping me today. So I'll leave it over. Hand it over to you.
All right. So for today, we have these slides, and we're gonna go in alphabetical order instead of order the class released. That way, we can get a mixture of buff and nerf, and we can also go in a different order than most people go in. So to start, we're gonna start with Archer. Archer, known as one of the more greater classes in the game, very good in large scale, can be difficult to deal with in small scale given the protection they've been given. I want to ask you guys, because on the class feedback, there's only one Archer reply, and that is, Archer needs more range attacks, and remove the kit combo and give him more range. That's all that's been said on Archer. Now I know Archer's very controversial, So I want to open the question to: should we buff Archer and give him more range attacks?
I'll be honest. I don't know about that. I think being able to have the close combat melee and CCs and catches that it has, I think it's perfectly fine. Honestly, the damage is just too insane though. Like Archer damage from a distance, you end up getting like 2 to 3 skilled depending on what class and what spec you're on.
Gotcha. Okay, so obviously not buff Archers, but here's the question, right? So you have two problems with Archer. You have the high damage, but you also have the high protection that they gave, right? Because they recently just buffed it, giving Zephyr Leap, SA into FG, and it also has the 2 iframes it has. It can kite very, very well. So what would you rather get rid of? Get rid of the damage or get rid of the protection? Given that it's so strong in PvP.
Honestly, I would say the protection. I mean, I don't think no range class should have that much protection.
So you wouldn't
On top
mind
of its
keeping the
movement.
Yeah,
you
on
wouldn't
top
mind
of the
keeping the
mobility.
damage if it just lost a protection and somebody be able to catch it. Because I
Yeah.
think that's the problem is you have these classes like, for example, Corsair. They can't catch the Archer because the Archer is so protected. It can move faster than the Corsair. They gave the Archer protection so it get away from faster classes, but now the slower classes can't catch up to it. So I feel like we should remove protection on some skills, but keep the damage so that way it's still viable in large scale, but it can still be caught in that small scale scenario. Keep it where it's great, but you need to nerf it so it's not great everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also agree. I feel like the whole purpose of range classes to be kind of like your range frag classes. So them losing damage just kind of like counters what they're built for. But the fact that they have all that protection just doesn't make any sense. Protected like a striker / Musa, but they're stayed at range. I feel like their range is their protection.
Yeah.
So
I
then here's
mean,
my
typically
question.
you blow them up before they get to you, right? So
Yeah.
You try,
So
yeah.
do you want to remove it? So removing an SA grader is removing an iframe grader.
SA.
Probably.
It depends, cause no, removing SA because most classes iframes don't do damage, right? It's only a select few classes, right? If I'm correct, like Guardian, I only think the iframe does damage, right? I think removing the SA is more detrimental than iframe.
Well, I'm gonna be bold to say that I feel like range classes shouldn't even have iframe first place.
I don't know about that one.
I say it's fine they have an iframe because if
like
they
their
get dove,
iframe-
then
Like
it's
every class
something.
needs an iframe.
Like their iframe is their range. Their distance.
But then there's classes like Suck Lahn and Awakened Drak that they don't care about the range that the archer's at.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. My biggest thing is I draw the line when archers are, because archers are squishy, right? But I draw the line when they're out trading me in melee range as a Musa. I think that's ridiculous. It's like are you a range class or not, bruh? Like, come on now. Like, I don't know. I think in turn the damage is whatever, but because they're a range class, but they shouldn't be as protected and mobile as they are at the same time. I don't even mind the meteor. What is the meteor dive where it's
Meteor
like
dive,
they jump behind you and they can CC you full SA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine, bruh. Like, whatever. But I don't know. We could look at other skills that could possibly be taken off and make unprotected in that case.
I would say just remove the iframe off Mountain Breeze, make it just full SA, and SA like you like jump forward, just move forward with the SA, and that'll be it. The damage, leave the damage as it is. Their ebuff is crazy, but leave it as it's a damage class. It should not be living that long in close quarter scenarios.
I'm not familiar with Archer with that skill. Is that an iframe on Archer?
Yeah, it's an iframe. So it's like where they shoot their bow forward and like they kind of move forward and shoot their bow backward. It's an iframe into an SA. Just make the full scale SA. So when
And
they
they
can
also-
take damage through it and they don't.
Yeah, they also have
English?
tactical strike. I believe that's that
Yeah.
iframe KD skill. It's an iframe into a CC KD.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's an
much,
iframe
Arch.
into a KD. Correct. You think removing that would be good as well?
And then they have their BSR, which is also an iframe. They're like what?
I feel like the
10%.
BSR is fine though because you need.
Yeah.
so
BSR
they got 3 iframes.
Currently, yes.
Oh, Lee.
Currently, they have 4 actually. They have,
Isn't one of them like a BSR though?
yeah,
Yes.
so they have 1 BSR, 2 in Awakening, 1 in Pre-Awakening. They have 4 iframes that they can use.
Yeah,
I
I'll get
think
rid of some
keeping-
of its SA.
I believe keeping the 1 and pre-awakening is fine. I believe keeping tactical strike is fine because that's a skill check. I believe the BSR is fine because you need BSR for it. I believe we should get rid of Mountain Breeze just because that's one too many. Leave Mountain Breeze as SA so they can take damage through it. It's still a movement skill, but you can still get hit stun and take damage through it to kind of slow you down as an archer player. No reason you should be kiting that well.
Okay, so Mountain Breeze, remove the iframe.
Remove the iframe off Mountain.
Here's another proposition: is do you think Archer? Because Archer, compared to Ranger, obviously, but Archer, I feel like a lot of their skills they don't even need to aim; they just blind fire it, and it has such a massive radius that they're just getting kills accidentally. Is that something that you guys think needs to be adjusted as well?
I mean, I do think some of its damage needs to be tuned down just a little bit because, like I said.
What's that ability where they can just spam it on the ledge? That damage to me doesn't fall off the amount. I don't know what is it where they go stealth or whatever, and they can just spam.
Oh yeah, Shadebound Beam.
That thing needs to be toned down immediately. I don't know if you guys notice at GVGs or whatever. Like most of the time, they just sit on the ledge and just spam that, and then go into like full bloom or whatever. But I'm definitely.
I feel like that's the range playstyle though. Like that skill is the embodiment of range, right? You have caster that sit on top of a rock and cast spells. You have ranger that sit on top of a rock and shoot arrows.
But they have to rotate
that's essentially the same thing,
abilities. They're not just spamming one. You see the difference? Like caster, but they're going through a rotation of things, whereas the archer's just spamming this one ability.
It's also on a 25-second cooldown.
What is that?
That skill.
Yeah, the skill. And it lasts for 10 seconds.
I mean, shit, yeah. I think that skill's fine. Because, I mean, some range classes have, like, and I'll be honest, I know we're not really on caster, but, like, some of those range classes need to have a skill where they're able to just sit up from above to cast below. You know what I'm saying? So
there are thoughts from Twitch chat. So there's KFC. He thinks that remove Shadebound, but they've got some terrain issues and fix the BSR iframe.
Terrain.
I think the BSR iframe
I think
works.
You're talking about the elevation issues that they work
No, I get what he's saying, but
the BSR iframe isn't a class issue; it's a console issue.
Yeah.
A lot of
it works on PC.
That don't work are console issues.
I mean, I feel like it's more of a game issue. I feel like every class experiences elevation.
Yeah, I mean, every class has elevation.
Elevation is for sure a game issue. Yeah, it's for sure a game issue. But we're talking about he's talking about the iframe not working on Mountain Breeze and stuff like that. That's a console issue. It's not an issue on PC.
He also lives in like.
He also plays at 250 ping. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
He is my people.
The elevation is an issue, but it's been curved by the fact that they have Mark Bloom, which goes down on elevation and it hits hard. Spirit Sylvia goes down elevation, hits hard. You still have Shadebound, where Live said you can sit on a rock, shoot down, and it hits hard. Piercing Light, Righteous Smite, all these skills that go down that hits hard. The only two skills that you're not hitting are Full Bloom and Luthergons. Just get on the elevation for it. You have other skills in your kit to be able to make it work. The problem isn't the damage, the problem isn't the skills, it's just the survivability of Archer.
Yeah.
Can we agree with that?
Yep, I agree.
100%.
Yeah, I don't know. I just personally think, just final closing thoughts on Archer. I don't know. I wouldn't really touch the class. The only thing that I would change would be the amount of damage it's outputting. I wouldn't touch its protection or any of that because I still think, on a fundamental level, that Archer itself is still a really squishy class. The only difference that they made to it is, improving the movement from the reworks and then all the post buffs after that. Because it was too easy to catch an Archer and just CC them and blow them the fuck up. But it's kind of hard. I don't agree with what the dude said in the little tab here on the forum, but I definitely would lower the DPS a little bit in my opinion.
Damage on some of its skills.
I wouldn't take away anything.
Base skills? So you wouldn't take away any protection, you just take away the damage.
Yeah, because if we're talking about protection, there's so many other classes on here.
Yeah, that would fit in there. I think that's right, Kobe. We should, either they look at their mobility or they reduce some of the damage on some of its big hitting skills.
Because the problem is that it's doing both of it. It's running away from you and blowing you up standing while doing it at the same time. So honestly, the protections could be fine if its damage was toned down. So yeah, I could agree with that.
All right, I think we're good with that. We can go on to the next
What about-
class. I'm sorry.
What's up?
Go ahead.
What's up?
What about Awakened? How do you feel about Awakened, Ranger?
Oh my God, Jane.
Not Awakened. Shut up. You know what I mean.
It's a
I'm on
Ascension.
Ranger. We're on Archer. Shit.
Yeah.
Never
Somebody in
mind.
chat said re-add
Jane?
split damage on archers attacks
talking-
or moves split damage on other range classes.
What? Maybe split damage
They
on
want you
Archer.
to add
is
split.
when
It's a large scale class. It needs to be able to function in large scale.
Re-add split damage.
Like
Oh, does
Wait,
it not have
Archer
split
does-
damage?
Yeah, I was about to say Archer doesn't have
Wait.
split damage.
Wait, does it not have split damage right now, or is that troll?
That
I'm
might
looking
make
at
sense
split
why its
damage,
damage is
doesn't
so strong right now.
doesn't no, they took
Like
it off
full,
in the reworks.
I don't think full bloom has split damage, and that's what gets most kills in
What?
large scale. Luther gone, no split damage.
I need to confirm.
I'm confirming. I'm on the class right now.
Yeah, they took it off.
Steve's
In the
got the
rework.
UI open.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good observation. We could
Okay,
put that
that's
in
okay.
there
That's
too
another thing.
for
You could-
instead of the
Oh, wow,
reduced
okay. Holy
damage.
shit.
Re-add
I didn't know
split
that.
damage from
Yeah.
full bloom.
Did it used to have
That's
split
still-
damage?
it
I'm
used
pretty sure it
to.
used to have split damage. Yeah.
It used to. They took it off a while ago.
When they added back
Oh.
attacks in the reworks.
I think you just put it for grand bloom.
Was it?
That's the one where you just like shoot
What?
openly.
I didn't know that. Okay, well that
That
does
makes
explain
sense why
a lot
it
of things.
hits like the way it does.
Oh well, there you go. That's
Shit.
I didn't know
Okay.
that.
We're good on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spatial Collapse got split damage. That should have split damage too. What the hell?
All right, Tage player. Anyway, moving on to Berserker. Let's start with Succession. Let's start with Succession Berserker.
I'm gonna go over the go over this feedback that this dude put in. This dude's crazy for this.
The feedback's insane. They just want the Zerk buffs. And
You want me to say it or?
if you
Yeah.
want to read it, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, so I'll move past the normal thing, but basically this dude said he wants it to give like the shout skill to give like 200 bonus HP to everyone for 20 seconds, and then he said, where is it? You should get like scale DR or something like percent. I don't know, something like DR. I don't know, bro. It's
Yeah, he wants the warrior buff where the more enemies around the Zerk, or the more enemies on the warrior, the more DR the warrior gets. He wants it on Zerk.
Hmm.
That guy is on that
Alright.
good juice.
There's an
No.
ad.
Yeah, I don't know about
it's
that
okay.
one,
Any
Chief.
primers?
Actually, I'm gonna open up with you.
my-
'cause
So
Suck-
some people in chat are saying nerf sucks Zerker's stamina or like make it.
I
a
agree.
stamina.
agree with
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
I agree with
Yeah.
I do agree. I
Okay,
think
so-
that oh yeah, easily. So lava piercer, both lava piercers lock stamina so that they don't regenerate while the animation's up.
Mhm.
And then tackling a rock, you increase the amount that it takes by 2. So you're multiplying it by 2.
I think Pred Hunt should keep stam regen on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell no.
I disagree.
No, it already does until the last of the animation, I believe.
Yeah.
And then weakling hunt it stops stamina. But I think that if you nerf tackling rock stam consumption by 2, like you increase it by 2, and then you nerf lava piercer regeneration, that's like a very, very starting point. Very easy starting
When
point.
you say by 2, you mean just like increase it. Say for example,
Yeah,
cost
so, like,
200, you can increase it by 250.
Double the stam cost. So when you do tackling
Yeah,
rock,
yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like 300 or 400, yeah.
Double.
I think that's fair. That way, people are not just spamming tackling rock as a
You want to do it
an
off a
hour.
cooldown or on cooldown? Because on cooldown is mostly using a combo, but off people just use it to run away.
Yeah. So when it's off cooldown. Or on
When it's
cooldown,
on
sorry.
cooldown.
Yeah, when the skill's not up and it doesn't have the
When the skill's
FPs.
not up.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because right now the problem is that people are just spamming it. Me included,
Mhm.
obviously. Everyone just spams it. You just spam, and it takes like no stamina. Because of the power creep in this game, you've always been able to just get more stam over time with like the books, the journals, level increases, etc. And all of that factors into your character's stam levels,
Okay, so then how do you feel about the slows?
like devastation and stuff.
Do you think
I
devastation?
mean,
should be
Devastation's the
nerfed?
only slow, right?
It's-
Pretty much.
I would
on-
love.
It's the,
No.
it's a 30% slow
Yes.
for 10 seconds
Yeah.
that you can add an add-on to make it 40%.
Oh yeah. I've always hated slows in this game. I would love for it to be completely removed. Yeah.
And it's an AOE
like
slow
it's
too,
removed.
bro. That shit's
It
tough.
should be
Yeah.
removed, really.
I want the I'd love it to be removed and for the skill to just have damage on it. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so then what about? Actually, let's keep it right there.
I know a lot of people don't like slows, but I will say there are some classes that rely on slows in order to do what they can do to perform. But
See,
I don't think
it's more
obviously
of,
I
yeah,
don't.
but that's more of like
Yeah,
what's it called? It's more like a game thing. Like the developers think in their minds, oh well, slows have to exist because XYZ. But like in reality, all slows do is hurt people who are already slow in the first place, like their
right.
base animation speed, right? So
Like I
it's kind
understand
of
why guardians have slows because that's a slow class. So it helps guardians by stooping their enemy down to their level, how slow the fuck they are, and it makes it to where that they can actually combat their
Well, fast
opponent.
classes like Berserker, Warrior, and Musa shouldn't
Yeah,
have those slows.
I agree.
See, but the problem with that is if a guardian has slows in their kit and they fighting another guardian, then they're looking goofy, right?
I mean, then they're both slowing each other, which
Exactly.
kind of makes it even.
They're not playing the game no more, right?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just,
True,
it's
but
just
Guardian
that part.
Guardian has iframes. As Plutarch says in chat, Guardian has the iframes to kind of dodge it, and they're tanky. It's not that you can just chip them. Like if they're slow, they could just choose to not fight at all.
Well, I think that he's
Some
talking from like
classes-
a practical standpoint.
So there's two different slows. You got your attack speed slow and you got your movement speed slow.
Yeah.
Some classes are affected by both, just by one.
Yep.
I feel like the only one that should be like the only one that should still be in the game is the movement speed one. The attack speed slow, that just I feel like that's like one of the worst things in the game because like anytime you're like if you get if somebody slows you right, 50% attack speed slow and you get a CC on them, it's like you can't kill them because you attack so slow that you have to perfect the perfect combo that like a CC resets the dude so you can like actually even kill him. And now all classes have reset like CC reset combos.
I feel
Yeah,
like
I get what you're
okay.
saying.
So you said 50% slow. I think the only class in the game with a 50% is a Guardian, right? With
No.
that.
No, Musa
Awaken
and Maehwa
Noah.
have 50% slows.
Caster,
They-
everyone?
That's
they-
Awaken-
that's movement speed.
awakening-
He's talking about attack speed.
awakening
He was talking about
caster.
attack speed.
Well, it's so here's the thing though is like
Yeah.
some classes if they get hit by like Musa for example, if it gets hit by an attack speed slow, Chase is slowed down. But if it gets hit by a movement speed slow, Chase is also still slowed down. So that's why it affects classes differently.
Okay, so I think we're on the board of all slows should be tuned down, no matter what class it's on.
Yeah.
It should be either tuned down or removed.
This should,
Then you better help
I-
Awaken Witch.
I was gonna say slows to me like should all have one percentage across the board.
Like a base percentage, yeah. Like
Yeah, it shouldn't
like
be.
that skill enables slow, and slow is
Yeah,
10%. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Didn't they just do that on Global Labs last week? Isn't it capped at like 30% now? Like they nerfed
No.
like how's
that-
the third hit
Mm.
of Blizzard slow and it
does
doesn't
not
stack.
work. I'm still
No.
slow when I'm
yeah.
fighting.
I
I don't know if it's live on PC yet.
No, I'm saying like if you ever been touched by a hash, you're not.
Yeah, Hack
Okay.
looks at you and you're slowed.
We gotta reel it back in. We gotta reel it back in. Back on Zerg. Back on Zerg.
All right.
Now that we got the slows, how do we feel about the heals? The heals and the grab. High contention points. Are the heals too much? And does he have too many grabs on Succession? Succession has
think-
2 grabs.
I think the heals and grabs are fine, honestly. The heals are percentage based, unlike some classes. So I don't think the heals are necessarily an issue. Plus, besides, you're kind of stationary, so that class can be punished with the 2 to 3 heals that it
350 per
has.
second.
Yeah.
So if it was like percentage based, then that would be really broken. But they've always been 350 per second, and they're locked behind attack speed too. So if you're slowed,
Slow.
that chick gets, oh my god, it's horrible.
Okay, so let me ask you this. The passive heal on Zerg is percentage. Should that
Yeah.
change to a base heal like previously? Because you also know that Drak has percentage heals, and that's kind of
Yeah, no, I don't
no.
think that
You
should
think it
change
should still be
because
percent?
there was no scaling factor before you were locked behind a set amount, and I think that that's a very lazy game design.
Got you. Okay. Moving on to Awaken Zerg. Now let me ask you this: 2 grabs is okay, or 3 grabs too much?
Yeah,
thi-
I think it's
I
also,
think
I think
so.
it's also outdated. Yeah, I also think it's very outdated.
I'll be
Outdated as in
honest.
How?
This is my personal
Eight-
opinion. I don't think any
Sorry,
class should have more than 1 grab, honestly. but
Okay.
it is what it is. 3 is kind of excessive.
The reason why I say it's outdated is because if you remember back in the day when Awakening Zerk had fucking 4 grabs, it was done like that because, it was heals for people, etc., and you would CC people with Undertaker, etc. But it's like the game has changed so much now, like it just doesn't have a place really like in the game anymore, in my opinion. I think that if you supplement the Awakening, especially with other skills, like large scale skills, that's far more in favor than just some grab.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Zerk has 3 grabs, right? It has Smackdown, it has
Yep.
Rock Smash, which holds you above its head, the one that you can extend, and then it has Rooting and Awakening. Should Rock Smash become a prime skill that only Succession can use, therefore giving Awakening only 2 grabs and giving Succession 2 grabs?
That'd be interesting. It would be interesting. I was
I think
gonna go with
that's
just remove Rooting, but yeah, it could also be.
I think that'd be a better balance, right? Because Rooting, I feel like Rock Smash is more of a Succession skill, right? You can hold them, you're tanky, you're built tanky. You have a passive health regen. But Awakening has no reason to be holding somebody above their head for that long. It's supposed to be like a little rat range class, if like that.
I was gonna say, Kobe, to also add on to that, maybe making Zerk, which I don't know, this is like diving a little bit deeper, making Zerk's grab, you know how there's the CC count. If they do that extended grab, then you can't, I guess that puts you at the CC limit, if that makes sense. Because you know how like they'll grab you and then they'll turn around and re-grab you again?
Yeah.
If they do that extended grab with the whole, then they can't, you know what I mean? Like you get immunity for the other grab. Since you just got punished for so long, if they can't kill you with the combo after that.
Okay,
or
so you're
if anyone doesn't
saying
follow up.
make the whole Corpse Storm chain where they spin you around, make that another CC. So that
Yes.
way,
Make
by
that
the time
count
you
as
get
2
put down,
CC. Make
Yes.
it count as a
by the time you
CC
get put
cap.
down, you're done. That's it.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
can't
your
use
CC
it.
cap.
So
Okay,
my
The
my
only
question
thing they
is:
can do after that is like a down smash or whatever. But
is Corpse Storm a bound or is it a KD?
It's a bound.
Bound.
So once
It's
they
a
drop
bound.
you, it's a bound.
So in 1v1s that could be totally useless on the turn of the Zerk, but it obviously in team play that could be you'd kill them before you even finish Corpse Storm. So
yeah.
would you change that to a KD or would you keep it a bound?
I think either
I
or
would
would be fine. I think even if you turned it into a
I definitely will
KD,
make it a
if you
KD
extended the grab,
because
yeah.
if it counts as a CC and you make it a KD, that way the Zerk can at least try
Yes.
to kill you. If it's a bound, you get up too quick. There's no point of extending.
Yeah, you get up too quick. There's no point of it. Yeah.
So you're saying go with what Live's saying, but change it so it's a KD, so at least it has some use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as soon as
It's
you do
great
Corpse
for
Storm,
team
it counts
play
as a CC.
in Zerging.
You're capped.
Yes.
Dre in chat said, "Here's my take on Awakening Zerg. They need to make Giant Leap invincible while in the air because classes like Sage and Striker can go in the air and receive 0 damage." How y'all feel about
Wait,
that?
what?
I'd be cool with Giant Leap being a full
Hold
iframe.
on.
Yeah,
I
Giant
get
Leap
what he's
is,
saying, but Striker does not become immune when he's in the air. Just saying.
Yeah, some of those
It's
classes
insane.
they do take damage while they're in the air. They include even Lawns, like if they're getting
Yeah,
blasted from
Striker
range
takes
classes.
damage while he's in the air.
But I see what you're saying.
Say when they're in the air.
I think he's assuming like Awakened Sage, Scholar, those classes that typically iframe up into the air. Striker not necessarily, but I know those two classes have that type of.
I don't know why he brought up Striker,
skills in their
but
kit.
that's why I was just saying I get what you're saying, but I just like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess he just thought of it like as a reference point, but I do get what he's saying because when you start at the skill, it's SA for like 3/4 through the entire skill, like 75% of the way into the skill, and like the last second it's iframe, which is just annoying and you die in it.
Yeah. I know that would also help with like hit stuns too, because I know that's a huge issue for every class or anyone that plays on console. But
you want to make Giant Leap SA like Guardian iframe, where as soon as you put the stick down, as soon as you lift
not while charging. Not charging.
Charging is
yeah, I'm saying
Yeah.
charging. That'd be kind of broken.
That would be broken.
Insane power. Yeah, as soon as you take off and let go, yeah.
Well, and it really helped because Awakening Zerk doesn't have a lot of protection in its movement, and on top of that, Shake Off is kind of a meme, as we know. So it's just I feel like that would be a good change.
I think that definitely should have been there.
Sorry, Fallen Sparky was saying reduce the range that Zerk has, which
If we're doing that, then we're reducing the range of the other range classes, in my opinion, because they're all
at
bananas.
that point, you're gonna have to reboot the whole class. I feel like.
No, I don't. I get what he's saying because your cannon shoots like an archer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why shouldn't it? It's a canon.
I don't
No,
know.
I feel
Awakened
like
Zerk is also punishable too. Like it's more
it's
punishable.
punishable, but I
compared to
feel like it has that
Succession.
niche spot of countering Archer, right? It has that niche spot of countering Suck Ranger where if they're far, you don't have to close the gap. You can just shoot them from your range as well. Whereas other classes have to close that gap. So it's kind of like if Ranger's on a rock, instead of climbing up there yourself, you can just shoot them down. Where it gives you that counterpoint. And if you remove that range, then it's just like, well, now I got to get in melee range to be able to kill this player just because they removed my range. And I feel like range should be just range. There's no scaling on whether, oh, Zerk has this much range, Archer has this much range. Range should be range no matter what range you have. That being a caster, that being a ranger, that being a Zerker.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with it, but you would have to make the class into a more melee brawler.
Shepherd.
Awakened Zerk outranges Suck Ranger.
I think it does.
But who can keep up more constant pressure at range? You see what I'm saying?
The Ranger. The
The
Ranger.
Ranger can. So like, yeah, initially the Zerk will, but over that Zerk is gonna have to move, and it's just not like Awakened Zerk isn't. It's protected, but it isn't. I don't know, man. The Suck Ranger in general is protected as fuck. Oh nah, just constant pressure. That Ranger should win.
Let me ask this, and let me ask this. Does caster outrange Suck Ranger?
No. Caster is also a medium range class compared to
Like Awakened
Ranger.
Corsair.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, I see what you're saying now. Okay. I mean, I guess you could kind of. I feel like that's more of a Suck Ranger issue where they need to buff the range to nerf Zerker.
Putting a frontal guard on Flame Pummel would be useful since it took the ground lift flow for more protection.
I agree with Dark Side.
Yeah, Flame Pummel needs love.
The problem with that is
Sucks.
that'd be a protected CC.
Wait,
That'd
what
be
did we
like
say?
giving.
Putting
It said
FG on
put-
Flame Pummel would
but-
be useful. I wouldn't.
Someone
wouldn't do anything.
said Awakened Zerk is better than Archer in a 1v1 that group. That's what he means. I mean, but those like see people, and I think when we talk about balancing, people tend to forget like certain specs just perform better in 1v1s and certain are meant for group play. Yeah, like you always have to keep that in consideration. It's not ever going to be truly balanced for everything. So
Yeah.
like some classes will excel in 1v1s, and some specs will excel in group play. It's just if everything excelled in everything perfectly, I don't think the game would be.
I'm reading chat. I'm reading Blazing chat, and he's saying Zerk should be pushed to medium range, like how Awakened DK is. It should be able to trade and not should be able to trade in the medium range, but not be able to extend the far range. Which I think that makes sense. It is a brawler class. It should not be.
Yeah.
Range.
It does
Think
have
about
good
that,
ass
like,
range.
The range is kind of crazy on Zerk. If you just think about it, like it has more than a Suck Ranger and it's a brawler.
I mean, I don't play Awakened Zerk, but I would be more okay with that if there was some form of mouse movement on console. Obviously, that's not going to happen. But
Yeah.
with Zerk being stuck in FG with his skills, I feel like it's if you take away a lot of his range, especially on console, it makes it very easily
Yeah,
exploitable.
how's that going to work if you were to transfer it to medium range? People would just walk behind you.
Because like Suck DK can just literally fucking
They'd
get behind the Zerk.
close the range pretty quickly. You're right.
Yeah. And he's stuck in that animation with like Titan Blow and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
If it was PC, I'd be more inclined to agree with it.
But because
Obviously,
it's console,
he's not.
he's kind of slow to cancel it. You shouldn't be able to. You think the range is necessary for him to be able to get out of the skill before certain melee classes close that gap and be able to CC you?
Yeah.
Range is necessary.
I was
Last thing for
actually
Zerk,
I was actually
Sorry.
reading one of the responses for Succession Zerker actually, and somebody said the class lacks accuracy rate on the following skills. Don't they just have to headbutt to get the accuracy rate up?
Yeah, but you got to do it. You got to do it on a successful target. Is the thing.
Yeah.
But the skills themselves, yeah.
Has to be on
the
hit.
ones he did list. I mean, those definitely don't have any accuracy on them. He is right.
Mhm.
which one did he list?
FD.
Sure, Ultimate FD,
Ultimate FD,
Fearsome,
FD.
Ancient Wave. The 200%?
I don't know why he put it there because it's minus.
Oh, because
5%.
it's
Yeah.
minus 1% accuracy.
Well, why don't they just do for headbutt the same thing that's for like Sage's
Accuracy buff where they can just hit the air and
facial
get the
fissure.
buff.
Yeah, just use it and you get the buff. You don't gotta hit somebody. Why don't they just do that?
Wait, say that again.
That'd be kind of broken.
Kind of like how you get
Oh,
your
he-
AP buff
as a Zerg
doing
player,
Frenzy
that would-
Destroyer.
How much
That'd be
accuracy does it
game-changing.
give you?
It's like 15.
I mean, you sit here
gives
and
you
say
a
it's
lot.
broken, but Sage has that instead of
Yeah,
fucking Guardian.
Sage,
So
yeah, Sage has that.
True, but I feel like those are like I feel
doesn't
like those are
Valk
melee
also have like a
classes.
buff where
right?
you get accuracy?
If imagine
Yeah.
you just headbutt the air and then you get up, you swap to your cannon and just Titan blow with 15% from range. You
Well,
flame
I
thruster
don't-
an AP
Well, that's
with
the thing.
50% from
If
range.
because we just talked about nerfing the range on that skill, right?
Yeah, but we just talked about how you can't do that because if you do it, then you're gonna get gap close and CC.
I would say I count Suck Sage and Awakened Guardian more as like mid-range classes because of they're not they go so much farther than just melee range.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like they could do something to make that work.
I feel
Pretty
like
much.
Okay,
I feel like the way
maybe
you want it to work will be just too broken.
maybe popping it without having to hit somebody, and instead of getting 15% accuracy buff, like a 12%.
Like 7.
I mean, you got to think about it.
7
Can you
is still
imagine?
good.
Can you imagine getting ready to duel a Berserker and they have to do like 4 skills to pre-buff themselves? I mean, they're already getting their movement speed buff, their AP buff, and then they're giving themselves an accuracy buff. Like, hold on,
Well,
let me jump in the air real quick, and then
but-
let me
but I
headbutt.
will say this,
Like,
though,
could you
like,
imagine?
if you do play, like I know with because when I tried it, Kobe and them was showing like, but there's certain combos like you have to do a whole animation to get the attack speed to crit just to kill somebody. Like they have to. I don't know what it is like. Where you, I don't know if you guys still have to do it because of the changes. But when you
Oh,
actually
Buster
do
training.
the
Mhm.
double axe slam into head.
Yeah, that's yes,
Do you still
Okay,
have
so
to do all
maybe-
that to even like
Yes.
get it?
yes.
Yeah, see,
Yes.
so like even with a Zerg, they have to go into like a whole pre-buff rotation to kill somebody. Like I think people just see Zerg and be like, "Oh my!" But it's actually a lot to that class to make it.
Well, they could consolidate
performance
them.
damage.
They could consolidate
agree.
all those things.
They
What I'm
could. I mean,
saying.
look at Spiral Cannon on Striker. That's just fucking
Yeah,
gold.
they could, maybe they could just like get rid of the fucking double axe slam and just put it right into the headbutt and have the headbutt
Bro, you could literally like
buff work
yeah.
without hitting somebody.
you could literally make it to where Shake Off gives the movement speed and attack speed. Just offer it, and it's that easy.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
You said
think we should add
Shaco
that.
gives movement speed and attack speed.
Yeah, so you wouldn't have to do it, but you'd keep the animation on Buster Training from.
Because don't you have to do Beastly Wind Slash for that movement speed or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's cool to do, honestly. And so that way you're not waiting for them to throw like 5 different skills to pre-buff and then they finally jump or type R to fucking duel if you're like dueling a...
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if you ever tried to duel a Zerg, but they got to do before they say R, they do all these pre-buffs and shit.
They got to do a whole combo before they jump.
And it's
Yeah.
all unprotected too.
Yeah, and then it's already on like 6 seconds left, so then you got to do it right before you're fighting again.
That's what I'm saying. If
Yeah.
you're gonna nerf some things on a class, you like the way I see it. If you're gonna nerf something on a class, you kind of gotta buff something else. So I feel like a
That,
buff
that
Yeah.
attack
two
speed,
would just
putting
be
a attack speed on it would be
consolidate.
too much. Just because you have another way of getting the attack speed and awakening, that being doing ground.
Oh yeah, the ground lift. Yeah, ground
Yeah.
lift. But then at least they got to up the timer because I don't know, 10 seconds is just not really a realistic thing.
10 seconds. Wait, huh? It's not enough.
Yeah, that's how much it's...
10 seconds. Yeah, I mean, what's 10 seconds? By the time you go through with the animation, you're doing your other pre-buff combos or you're running at someone in combat. Next thing you know, you're already at 4 or 5 seconds already. It's already half over.
So you're saying you don't want to keep up the uptime. It should be just longer, like a constant.
Yeah, if it's not going to be a part of something that's a realistic thing used in all the time on Zerker, then the timer needs to be increased. It's because it's already unprotected. There's got to be some give and take there when it comes to Buster Training. Like, yes, while ground lift is there, but you're not always going to get that because ground lifting is also unprotected.
Mhm.
True, but it can be canceled quickly.
It can be canceled quickly while you're comboing people for sure, which increases the uptime, but it's not a realistic thing when you're pre-buffing to go through combat. I don't know, especially if you're surrounded by people.
Yeah,
You're getting
that's
chased
true.
down by multiple
Yeah.
opponents. You don't have time to always get it off, which is what I mean.
So then you would increase the timer to what? 15?
15 seconds, yeah.
Yeah, 15. I think 15 is reasonable.
We have somebody in chat saying crispy food, saying F Zerker for real, for real.
I love how you,
Bullet.
you read that, but you ignore what Dark Side. And
No, I was actually gonna get it there.
And
So Dark Side said, "Can we reduce the cooldown off of Frenzy Destroy or Frenzy
yeah, it's the
What's
Rabomb.
Frenzy?
The Rabomb Frenzy wins.
or a
Frenzy
bomb?"
wins? What is the cooldown on frenzied wins?
Like 20 seconds. Yeah.
24 seconds?
I think it should be. It could be reduced, honestly.
Why is that shit so fucking?
That shit is a long cooldown, honestly.
It's like a power nap.
I gotta change this box. It's kind of right in the line, no?
Okay, you little
Running
tech
out of room
savvy.
here.
Tech
We're in a
savvy.
room here.
Yeah, I think all these are pretty valid though. Points.
I don't know. I feel like Awakening Zerk needs a full it's a right now. I don't care what nobody says. It's one of the best classes in the game, but I feel like
Yeah.
it needs a full rework.
Agree.
The kind of not a full rework, but like a pretty solid rework to change it where it some parts of the class is just too good, and the other parts is just like unnecessarily weird. Like,
Well,
like your pre-buffs
feel-
and stuff.
As a Zerg player, I feel like it's like has that part where it has everything, but it's not great at everything. You know what I mean? It has that range, it has that melee. You could play in the pocket, but you're not great in the pocket, right? You have a lot of gaps. You can't really sit there. You have
It's
range,
not a
but
class you
like
can just
range
pick up
skills.
and be good at.
Yeah.
It's not even about that. It's just like you have everything, but you're not great at everything. You have to use everything to make the class good.
They're cold.
Yeah, we mentioned it,
It is a
Sparky.
very strong class.
The fact
Very
that
strong
how
class.
Awakening Zerk, we were talking more so, I think, reducing its range compared to like Suck Ranger, making it more of a medium range class, I guess, instead of a, because Awakening Zerk does have some range to its cannons.
Yes. But the trade-off is that you can't do like ancient power cancel like you can on PC.
You can't
Mm.
rotate your frontal guards and shit like that.
You can't insta-cast anything like you can. It's not a thing.
You're within block jump range just by using your range kit.
We get on Zerg. Also, are we gonna reduce the slows on Awakening? Oh, that's another thing. The slows,
'cause
right?
of
You have
Wicked-
two different slows on Awakening Zerg. You have
Yes.
Devastation, you have Earth Divide. Earth Divide is an instant SA 30% slow that you can add on to make it 40%.
So Jay had a good suggestion in chat earlier where you think slow should only be implemented into skills if it's used in an add-on slot. I actually like that idea.
So slow shouldn't exist unless it's from an add-on.
Yeah, I think that's actually a good idea.
Yeah, like I said, you can literally take off the slow if you want on both devastations. I think you can leave a 20% on Earth Dividing, but then the damage would have to
Really?
go up. Yeah.
I think,
Just think about it.
I think Earth Divide is more harmful than Devastation, just because there's no wind-up.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it should be on Devastation instead of Earth Divide. I think Earth Divide should just be an SA skill with nothing on it. No slow. It should just be an SA skill.
Right, but then if you're gonna take away the slow, you have to up the damage. Is what I'm saying on devastation.
I can see that. And then move.
Yeah, bald.
Wait, you want to increase the damage on Devastation?
Yeah, I'm completely down with removing the slows. Let's go. Get it out of the game.
What do you want it to hit like? You want to hit like what? Like,
Well,
like a slugfest?
hold on now, because if
You
we're
want to
getting,
like-
if we're hold
I'm
on,
about to say
if we're
increasing
getting
damage
rid
is
of
kinda
slows
crazy.
on every class, that means every class is going to get damage buffs. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, not necessarily, because the argument was always that for class linking movement, they need the slows to counter those people. But I think that that's
Right.
a contradictive statement in general. I think it would require a personal evaluation for each class. Not all of them are.
Oh
are the
yeah.
same.
Yeah, I agree
Because
on that one.
for Zerk specifically, Zerk's like Prime Devastation does like very minimal damage, but it has a slow on it. Like you're
The
not going
whole
to use
ass wind up you got to do.
You're not going to use Prime Devastation to combo. You'll use it to slow people.
Okay,
So
so
it's
you're
like-
saying buff devastation on sub
Awakening.
on awakening.
Awakening
Yeah, but-
and Suck, yeah.
Yeah.
You would remove the slows entirely, and then you'd buff the damage on it.
I agree with that one.
Not by a crazy amount, but just something to where it's an actual usable skill. Because the point of the skill is to slow. It's an AoE
Yeah.
slow. So if you take the whole point of the skill away, you'd have to replace it with something else.
And correct me if I'm
Yeah,
wrong,
those go
Guido,
away.
but I'm not in Kobe. But I'll be honest, those devastation on especially Awakening Zerg, isn't that like a really good counter to some of your matchups, depending on who you're going, what class you're going up against?
Yeah, it
Like,
is.
like
That-
gauntlets and
Yeah,
stuff.
it is, but that's what I was saying before about how when you, it's not just like even a counter thing, but if you apply it to someone like a guardian, they're affected by it far more than like a hash or a
Oh
sage
yeah.
or a kuno ninja, you know, all these insta cast classes. You know what I mean? So I think that if you
Yeah.
just remove the problem entirely out of the game, slowly over time, like that's just a better solution.
Wait, so you want to move the slow devastation just flat? There's no slow.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'm taking damage or anything that I can get over a slow any day.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I don't care. I don't care about it personally. I don't know what your opinion is. Obviously, I think it has a place in the game. I'm not saying that in a perfect world, I'd want it gone, but if that was the choice I'd be left with, then yeah, I'd take that.
Yeah.
We good on Zerd? Everything looks good
Yeah,
here?
I mean, we're fucking
Yeah.
running out. We're gonna have to change the font if we keep going more on
I
Zerk.
said it was a little that fast. I think we're supposed to.
I don't even see the picture anymore.
Bunch of yappers.
These are
Class.
cold.
Corsair, the fish.
That's the next one.
The fish.
That is the next class. Start with Awakening. Start with Awakening. Let's start with Awakening. Awakening, good cap class. Has that little bit of range damage. Has that close quarters as well, kind of like Zerk. Where it's kind of like the best of both worlds. The damage is all stationary though, and I know
Yeah.
that's a little bit in the class feedback. As a guy saying that most of the skills are stationary. They need a little bit of moving in the skills to make it kind of flow better. And also they want protected. They want more protected KD or protected float in the Awakening kit.
How many protected CCs does that class have? Does anyone
An
know?
Awakening?
Yeah.
I don't think it has any. I don't think
Has
any Awakening kid has protected CCs
CCs.
unless it has a bond. The bond gives it a protection. Unless if you don't have no bond, no kit in Awakening has a protected CC unless it's a grab.
Huh. That's actually interesting.
The thing is, should we buff or nerf Awakening Corsair? I feel like the class is fine as is right now. Does good damage, has a niche spot in the game. I wouldn't say it's bad large scale. It could top frag large scale, as you see on Turtle Girl. Did an arc that class you can frag on the fucking you can frag on the class. But should it be buffed in a small scale scenario? Given that it is a very stationary class that can get caught very easily.
I mean, I would like to see it get some love for its grab. I think its grab is kind of buns, even though it is a range grab and range grabs are strong. I think Corsair's
have a grab.
or even just taking the grab away and giving it something else. But I think if it is to keep its grab, I think it could use some love in that regard, and also the fact that it is stationary with a lot of its skills. It does have, I believe it's Sea Breeze, right? That's that crazy skill that flies you forward and you go through frontal guards and stuff.
Sea Mist, yep. The spot.
Sea Mist, yeah, yep. Yep, I think that's a really, really good skill, but I don't think a single skill carries the class. I would like to see, not gonna lie, evasion passives in general, and I know that's for more than just Corsair, but like Plutarch said, Socket makes sense to have a evasion passive that it does, but Awakening not so much. But then at the same token, I feel like most Awakened Corsairs run DR anyways, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
That's the thing though, is like Awakened Corsair has a mist where it's like as long as you're in the mist, you get a 6% for 5 seconds. And that's to everybody in that mist, including allies.
Yeah.
So I feel like giving it that evasion buff, should you take away the mist or should you just like add more onto the mist? Given that the mist is also applied to allies.
Good call, man.
You have classes like Striker that give you for doing nothing, evasion rate for doing nothing. And then you have something like Corsair where I don't see anything on this class that gives you plus evasion rate. Besides the mist.
I know it's a tough call for sure, especially because I've never touched Awakened Corsair a day in my life. The only people I fought playing it would be literally Kanye. So,
what are some of the responses we got from Awakening Corsair? It's pretty hefty, little paragraph.
Awakening Corsair needs the gap removed after entangling vortex, and/or allow the skill to float faster after using it to cancel the gap. They want the grab to have a faster animation speed. Like after, I know we can cancel it after some skills, but they want just the base grab to have a faster animation because it does have a wind up that's kind of long.
I think that's a good idea.
I think we could add that to the suggestions.
Because it's quality of life at that point. Like, do you want the class to feel smooth or do you want the class to feel clunky? I'd rather a class feel smooth than clunky.
And they just want a gap fixed after entangling vortex, which would be down B. It's like a little shooting. So it's like it's frontal guard at the beginning, and then at the end, as long as it's shooting, it's no longer protected. Kind of like how Ancient Wave is on Zerg, whereas as you're
Oh
charging
yeah,
it,
yeah.
it's protected, but as soon as you let go, it's unprotected. I think that should stay the same, just because there should be no skill in Awakening that's protected without a bond. That just makes no sense. It should not have a protected CC on it. So having something protected, and as soon as the CC goes out, kind of like Grim is, where same thing with Reckless, whereas as you're charging, it's protected. As soon as you let go and do the CC out, it's no longer protected. I think it should stay that way, and it shouldn't be changed. However, I think the grab should speed up, giving them better a use for it at least, and then a flat evasion rate on a skill. Doesn't matter what it is.
Okay, yeah, increase the grab speed. I'm reading some of the responses.
Also, quick question: I know that the Corsair has the pets, right? Do the pets actually even do anything valid for the class? I'm not sure they do.
Well, they provide
do.
pet damage for sure.
Yeah, they give pet damage. I'm pretty sure one can provide PA as well, and then they also give one that it's like either a burn, it's a burn, a stun, or a minus accuracy rate. Such thing is like she has a lot of debuffs. Like she has a skill that gives minus 12% accuracy rate.
Okay, so the pets are for straight like utility, but then you got pet
Yeah.
damage. Okay, that makes sense.
Wake. And then for Succession Corsair, not gonna lie, I have no idea what I'm talking about here. But I'll try my best.
So with Sec Corsair, the thing is like, and obviously this would be something we'd have to keep in mind for a lot of classes, but do we want a game where everyone's protected, or do we want a game where everyone has gaps? Because if we want a game where everyone has gaps, then we could definitely look at stuff on Sec Corsair, both nerfs and buffs. But if we're just speaking to the void, and we should just think of the game as a game where most classes are going to stay fully protected, then
I think Corsair
I don't
is.
know.
It's crazy because Sec
crazy
Corsair
protected class.
is crazy protected, and it also gives like a 30% like grapple resistance passive. So when you finally are
And
able
also
to
has an
CC
insane
it,
vacuum.
yeah, like
That as well.
I do. My opinion, y'all tell me what you think. I think removing the grapple resist passive on that on Succession would be kind of nice.
No way.
You don't think so?
I think
It's stationary with a lot of its stuff.
it
Yeah,
would
it's
be
stationary
way
with a
too
lot of
easy
its.
to grab in. That's the problem that current classes have. You look at Awakened Wizard and Awakened Witch. They're too stationary with no grab passive, so they just get grabbed. They're free kills.
Yeah, true.
I feel like the grab resist you needed to be able to make those stationary skills worth
yeah.
it.
Plus, you can just put on ignore grapple crystals if you really want to grab that shit.
Yeah, it's like Hydra said. If you're going to take the grab resistance away, you got to speed up the skills. I agree with that completely because it's a strong, fully protected class. But with how long it takes to pop off some of those whale skills, you're literally just sitting there. And so, I don't know. It'd have to be one or the other.
That's one
So
thing. I don't think Corsair benefits off of attack speed, like off of any stone. So let's say they absorb BSR, that attack speed doesn't speed up their skills, which I think is something that needs to be fixed. There's no reason you should get shy buffs or consume and your skills still act the same way that they do without them.
Mm-hmm.
And then go ahead, Blazing, what you're gonna say?
I was gonna read off one of the responses that someone posted about Succession. People are saying that it needs a protected float or KD to give her equal to C-Miss stun. Awakening, yeah. I guess it needs more protection, protected CCs for Suck Corsair.
Give Suck and Corsair a KD.
Because Suck Corsair's identity in large scale is not only just a support class, but it's a bomber class. It's not really a duelist. Yeah.
Yeah, so. I don't think it's meant like if you want to be a duelist Corsair, then you need to go Awakening spec. But Succession is definitely more a support / dive in. Yeah, I think we're good on that one.
Protected CCs. I'm just gonna put it needs to be able to allow Succession skills, the ability be affected by attack speed. We're good on that.
Yeah.
Go to Dark Knight.
Oh my god.
Let's start with Succession. A lot of contention. In the class feedback, a lot of cries for Succession buffs. They say Succession DK is weak. It's been outclassed by the other classes that came out, saying it can't catch up to other classes. It does no damage. It has the worst modifiers. It can't regen health. It's saying that it's useless. I want to open up
What
the question to
class?
y'all and see how do y'all feel. Succession DK. Succession.
Yeah, a lot of that's
Yeah, that's a lot of that's cap.
a lot of that is copium, bro.
Mm.
Suck DK does crazy damage. Its mobility is insane. It has a ton of iframes. It doesn't have great self-sustain. That's like one of the only things that they're right about on that stuff.
I was on the assumption that Suck DK was one of the best classes in the game.
Suck DK is an insane
One of
assassin
the best
class.
classes in the game, but I'm gonna be real. How many do y'all see on console? I think I only see like 2.
They don't
Maybe.
play it anymore because they're on fucking Drak and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm playing
A lot of
Drak. They're all
people-
playing all those new classes and shit.
I would agree that Awakening DK is not a good class, but Suck DK it's so
Yeah.
far
Yeah.
from a bad class.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm
I agree.
gonna go ahead and say
would
this.
you say nerfer?
When Suck DK pops her E buff, she's the hardest hitting class in the entire game. I don't care what.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Capped or uncapped, doesn't matter. She
Yes.
hits so hard, it's insane.
Gosh, a lot
But
of these
does-
DK responses are like they want Succession to get buff.
Yeah.
I think
I don't know if
people
they-
just missed that old Suck DK that was just popping people. Like you just
Yeah, they just
disappear.
want a one shot again.
Yeah, I don't think.
Okay,
of
but
Suck DK
okay, so let's
anymore.
say it shouldn't be buffed, right? Do we think it should be nerfed?
Nerfed how?
I feel
Nerf
like
does end
Suck
damage.
DK
Nerf
is in a
does
good
end-
spot. I feel like it's
And
fine where it's at.
protected CCs, right? You have airstrike, you have wheel.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind seeing Twilight Dash getting a slight nerf in its distance, not gonna lie.
It
Yeah.
doesn't go
I'm not
Twilight.
saying- that's already been nerfed, isn't?
Yeah, it's already been
You
nerfed
could say-
once.
Yeah.
But
We got
I
a
see what you're
DK player,
saying,
yes,
Jerry.
sir.
And it's like
It doesn't
Unfortunately,
mean it can't be nerfed again.
true, but it is a melee class that has to catch up to that range. And how you
Yeah,
gonna do
I
that if
don't.
Twilight's nerfed? There's no other really forward movement in the class. I don't think the rest is just kind of horizontal where you gotta like slide your camera. Sure, you can
Yeah.
airstrike towards him, but it's like that's another CC gone. I think Twilight's needed to be able to close that gap between, let's say, for example, the archer that's kind of away from you, that's fully protected. How you gonna catch him if Twilight's gone? You just made your job a whole lot harder, and you're in assassin class. You're supposed to be getting to that backline. If Twilight's gone, good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the issue on PC then, Kobe? Like, why is a lot of people saying that Suck DK is like kind of busted, or is that just like some AOS terms? I know we're talking about console.
Well,
but
the reason people say
You
Suck
see a
DK
lot
is
of Suck
broken is
DKs in
because
AOS, so I don't know about.
just her damage is insane.
just in
Her
caps.
damage is
Well,
insane, and
overall,
it's just
yeah.
she's like hard. She's a hard catch. She's super hard to catch, right? She has wheel on a 6-second, an SA AOE float on a 6-second cooldown.
And she's also the best class in the game to punish people's forward guards.
That too. Airstrike.
So it's very
7-second
hard to react to a
SA
Succession DK as well, is what you're saying too.
Well, the airstrike's still unprotected, right?
No, airstrike and Succession fully protected.
Okay. I remember when it was unprotected, and I was fine with that.
He gave her that fully protected float. What I've been hearing is that people want the bound on lunacy back, which would be like, you stab the ground on DK, and they get bound, and then they would like block jump. People said they want that back because they did change that. So I've been hearing people want that back, and instead they remove the protection off airstrike. But then
Hell
again, I'm not
no.
a DK player, so I don't know.
Airstrike is a gamble, but it's not bad. I
don't know.
actually think that bound would be nice.
I personally just feel like Suck DK is in a good spot. It doesn't need to be buffed or nerfed, in my opinion. I feel like it's fine as is.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that is missing, honestly, and I say this about every class, it just needs a heal. I don't know if you guys know how
Oh, yeah,
DK
that's
heal
what I'll get-
works.
that's what I'll get
I
to
agree with
next.
that. Yeah.
It just you can't heal. You
But
just
next
other
Does
than
it
that-
not
Like,
have any?
it-
Does it not have any skills that give HP regen or like
you
hit
have
on
the
hits?
skill, but you're standing there charging.
Yeah, it's
up.
like an RP skill. Like you're kind of like holding the
Yeah.
sword to your side, like main character type style, where it's like I'm charging up, but it doesn't really heal
Yeah.
you for much. It heals you for 30 per tick. Where I think anytime that where it's like what Warrior just got, where you get that meditation. I think it's called. Where you get a flat, or like you get even like Brace, like Ninja. You get a flat like 200 bump, and it's instant. It doesn't have to be something big. It just needs.
Yeah,
to
I'm not saying. Yeah, I'm
work.
not saying it's got to be something fucking like massive, but 300 health, like Kobe said, would be fine.
Yeah.
Just
I feel
something
like it
to kind of
needs
put
some
you back. Yeah.
quick, because that whole let me disengage, hold on, healing, and you heal for nothing. I think Spirit Satiation should change. Good luck me spelling.
Well, see, the way I see it is, it's not a brawler class. It's an assassin class. What does it need heals for?
Well, that's
Well, I mean,
what
you
that's
say
what
it's
we're
an
saying.
assassin
It doesn't
class,
have to be a big heal, but if I
guess something so small like a 200 heal.
Yeah, that's what
that's
we're
what
saying.
Ninja has.
Yeah.
Ninja and Kuno have a small 200 where if you need it, there it is.
Ninja got like almost half HP bar heal.
That's his E buff.
That's
Yeah,
yeah.
that's Awakening. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
now I'm as a Sage player.
My fault, man. My fault. Sage got one heal too. Come on.
So I don't know too much about DK's Magna skill. One of the responses, because the Magna skill applies for both specs, right? Blooming Black Rose. This skill is absolutely useless and has no damage or protection or CC. No point in even unlocking it.
I've never seen a DK use Magna skill ever.
Nah, if you use that thing, I don't know.
I understand there's a few other classes too that have Magna skills that completely are just useless to the kit.
Yeah, but what's the point of adding the skill if it's useless? I feel like every class's Magna skill should have a purpose that should be used. Right? And I feel like having something that you don't use, well, why even add it in the first place? That's literally kind of like a nerf where other classes got something and you didn't because you don't even use the skill. I think the skill should be changed to something. Doesn't matter if it's a protected damage that's not a CC or if it's a CC that's not protected. It should be something. But right now it's no CC, not protected. It's just damage. Why even use it? You won't. It should change to something that's useful.
I feel like there's a lot of classes that just have like useless skills in their kits. Like example, Striker has that skill Tayback kick. Nobody uses.
Well, that's what I think I said it to you before, Kobe.
True, but like
when you choose to go Awakening, your pre-Awaken kit shouldn't go completely useless.
Yeah, I feel like that's for a lot of classes though. Like at least a lot of the original classes. That's how it is. Someone said Magna skills are PvE skills.
Hell no.
Okay,
I don't know about that.
Hell no.
Who said that?
You ever seen that Zerk jump? That is not a PvE skill, boy. That thing go crazy.
I'm using that PvE all day. What's up?
Yeah, Sage's Magna skill is like one of his hardest hitting skills.
Yep.
You got Ninja block jump.
Casters, Magnuses are they're both good.
Both casters.
Striker
I definitely like
best knockdowns.
I definitely like
definitely
Zerkers though, because it's a mobility and damage at the same time. I wish I had something like that.
I feel like I'm gonna say the Magna skill needs to rework the Magna skill. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
And then.
But are we still talking about DK?
Yeah, we're on DK still.
DK. I think that's.
I don't know how.
They're saying DKs is okay. Okay, I thought we were talking about all of them all together.
No, we're just talking about Suck DK right now.
Okay, yeah, Suck DK's Magna skills kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of mid.
Wait, so let me ask you this: Can Sui say they should remove 70% of SA? I was gonna ask you, how do you catch a Suck DK without a grab?
Remove 70% of SA on all
like,
classes, or on
you gotta try to blow it up. Well, for me, in my class, I have to try to just blow it up. I don't. I just try to blow it up before it blows me up.
Right now, how do you catch a Suck DK without a grab?
So I play Sage and I use my suction skill out of my iframe. That's basically my best way to catch it. Other than that, then I'm usually Suck DK is a hard counter to Sage because Suck Sage got a lot of 4 guards that real slow casting, so they're really easy to punish. So, generally,
should the protections be reduced or should it just stay the same? Because we are in a protection meta where everybody's been given SA, and I think that's one of the things.
I definitely think we should probably, and it could be on the next stream, but maybe have another slide of like overall what all classes need. Yeah. Or need removed, because there is definitely too much protections. Like even my class is hella protected. I can stay fully SA the iframe if I wanted to. However, I'm not, because there's also so much damage where I can't just linger, SA and expect to just linger it without getting blown up.
All right,
But,
moving
yeah.
on to Awakening. I know Live, you play Awakening, so I'm gonna need your help with this. But how do we feel about Awakening? I think it's a little weak in the meta right now. You don't really see it that much or at all.
Yeah, class isn't very good right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Awakening DK getting a little bit of a buff. Not a huge
think-
buff, but a
so-
I think right now
decent
it's just
buff.
damage.
I was
That's all
gonna
it
say,
is.
yeah, it's just damage. Well, mobility wise, it has great mobility. I think survivability. Like I say, I'm just a big fan on that 200-300 burst heal. Doesn't, like I say, it could be on a 10-second cooldown, just something that'll keep you kind of sustained.
Yeah, so let's say you got that.
Yeah,
What
I
would you change in
honestly
Awakening?
make the pre-awaken just hit. I mean, because the damage in awakening, to me, I don't see it needing too much more. It already hits pretty hard. I would say kind of like if Archer doesn't have split damage, I don't think Shatter. I think that would probably be mine, because Seeds is already fucking goated with the SA you could put on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, mobility wise, I would say probably just a little bit more damage and make the pre-awaken hit slightly harder in the kit. I don't like that's because on
Make the pre-awaken hit harder. So what do you use in pre-awakening that you want to hit harder?
So what is it called, enforcement or whatever? I don't know. Like, you ever seen
That's
that?
the float?
Yeah, on Suck where they just do that one swipe, or like the what, I don't know what it's called. It's like they I have to go to the ability. I think it's called Savage Rake or some shit like that. Just though, like I said, it doesn't have to be chunking. I'm not sitting here asking for like a fuck ton more damage, but like if let's say I end up doing my season to Shatter and I can't and I go in the will, the chances of me blowing you up or finishing you because I had to go into pre-workout. Like the other day when I was fighting Guido, there were a few times where I would get him low, but because I pretty much ran out of abilities, I went into pre-wake. He was just getting up and then fucking me up. It's just like,
Well,
okay.
isn't the biggest issue with Awakening DK is it doesn't have accuracy like Suck does?
Yeah, the accuracy on it is fucking shit, but
Really?
yeah.
But they also, I saw
I'm-
Plutarch say in chat, it does have an Eva Shred skill though, right?
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
that's
It's a
enforcement.
50% all
That's the-
evasion.
That's the enforcement.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why I say. So that's why I say you go to prove it doesn't do any damage in awakening. So like it's not a bad. I think I want to say it's enforcement. I'm pretty sure. I'll double check here in a second. I'm fucking
Yeah, I
grinding,
feel like
but
her, as Pluto saying, I feel like her accuracy's fine. Her ebuff gets 20%, and she has a skill called Trap of Vadir. It's a forward guard that moves you back, gives minus 15% all.
So that, yes, that's that little jump, but you have to play a dangerous game. Like, so Berserker's so desynchy, it's not like you're just going way back. Like I've tried to do it on Guido and I ended up in his fucking hands. You know what I mean? Like, because is this a DC thing? So I'm not sitting there saying it's a bad skill. You do have the opportunity, but like let's say a warrior or a grab class, you're not gonna want to do that. Or a striker that has something that goes through front of, they're gonna spiral through your shit and then you're on the ground. You see what I'm saying? Like it's a gamble that's not. Now if they made that Trap of a Deer thing SA, I think that'd be fine. But
I feel like you're doing
frontal.
No, respectfully, I feel like you're doing it wrong though, because it's not supposed to be. You're saying you're getting CC'd out of it, but I feel like it's a combo skill, not a neutral skill.
So are you saying we'll do it when they're on the ground?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, that could probably be it too.
And that could circumvent your accuracy problem. So, what I'm hearing is Suck Decay or Awaken Decay is just fine as it is now. It just needs
probably some damage buffs, slight damage.
Well, I mean, from what I'm hearing from that is it basically has the same problem with its accuracy that Zerk does with its headbutt. So
I don't think we have anything that gives accuracy though, unless
Shepherd,
you have an add-on.
well
Shepherd is saying that
the Eva Shred is the same kind of. But Eva Shred.
Eva Shred is an indirect accuracy buff.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say.
So Shepherd is also saying
is the skill in and of itself has the same issue that Zerker's headbutt does.
reduce the cooldown on Spirit Legacy. It's already a 7-second cooldown. How low do you want it? I feel like going any lower would make it just like you just spam it at that point.
Yeah, I wouldn't make it any lower.
So Shepherd said awakening passives. We need awakening passives for every class. We have pre-awakened passives and succession passives. Give other classes awakening passives. I can see that.
Give other class awakening passives.
So like Succession has their own like
Yeah, it has
passes,
their own
right?
like bracket.
Yeah, but they're saying
I feel like
Awakening.
that's to offset because Awakening gets core skills and BSR.
True, that is true.
True.
No, that's actually a good point. Good point out, Jerry. Now that you brought that up, I don't really agree with it anymore.
So
Because it sucks because Succession definitely can't use BSR, nor can they.
Like some
Have
select classes
cores.
have a useful 100. Not all of them do. Some of them have useless 100s. But then the Awakening classes get the 10%, the 25%, the 50%, and then they have
Yep.
the core skills.
I'm not gonna lie. You said cooldowns. I'm looking at DK skills. 7 seconds. 7 seconds.
DK's
5
cooldowns
seconds,
are
7
real
seconds.
short. Like the amount of pressure at DK, that's why like I ain't gonna lie, I do love when you do get into group fights because the amount of just pressure I can just keep throwing out is DK's the cooldowns are fine. I wouldn't.
Okay, so the problem is you say we're going around the circle of the class is fine.
I don't
But then
no.
You can also
Like,
say the class is weak.
so like I said, I mean when it comes to damage, I mean, unless you once again it goes into every class has its counter. Unless you have the damage to blow up like a shield class or something, then yeah, you're just gonna run the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time, like I don't have the range of an archer, so I can't outrange an archer. You see what I'm saying? Like that, but that's just gameplay and counters of classes. I don't think DK is super weak. I don't think it's super strong. It's just in that
Okay,
mid
so it's
tier,
fine.
like average.
Yeah, so it's
yeah.
it's.
I
So
think
it's
the
fine.
class overall is fine.
It's fine
I'm
in
looking
terms
at
of all things. It's just the top is too good. It's broken, right? They need to be brought down to DK level.
The
what you're saying.
ceiling, the
Yes.
ceiling of
Okay.
other classes are just
So
so
you say
high.
awakening case fine. Let's leave it as it is. And
yeah,
let's
because
move on to
looking
the
at
next class.
this, a lot of people are asking DK to be like buffed in large scale when it's an assassin class. It's a flex class, or however you want to put it, whether it's on anti cannons or whatever, right? But it's not meant to like frag out in like node wars and sieges. That's what your ranged classes, your pretty much the ranged classes are for, and your guardians and dracs, and maybe even sorks. But yeah, but I think it's personally it's fine.
So we're good on DK. I'd like to go to the next class, and that is the best class in the game currently, the most broken, the most meta rolled, that needs to be nerfed immediately. Drakania.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that class got some issues.
Dude, what's funny is if you check the feedback, all of it is please buff Awaken Drac, and I
Yeah.
can take it.
Let's start with Succession.
I thought they
I
were
know
talking. Yeah, I thought they were talking about.
Awakening's gonna be a Yab Fest. Let's just start with Succession, right? I think Succession's fine as is right now.
Yeah,
I think the only problem that it has is Ions.
Ions, yeah. I was about to say, I think the
Right.
Ions help keep that
It
class.
has to do like these
pretty
3 unprotected
balanced.
moves to get its back. The only thing I would say is when you pop the E buff on Succession Drag, your Ion bar fills. It doesn't stay full, it just fills up. That way, you have a way to be able to like, okay, the fight's starting. Let me pop E buff so I ain't gotta do this whole skill rotation. Get my Ions real quick and go in. I think that's all it needs. The damage is still fine with Ions. Without Ions, go get them. Good luck. Protection's fine. It has CCs. It has healing passively. Good accuracy. Everything is fun in class. The only problem is Ion regeneration.
The thing about Suck Drac is that it's still a really, really good class. It's just completely overshadowed by its Awakening spec. I truly believe that the Ions are an inconvenience with how they nerfed it. But other than that, like, yeah, maybe against a grab class, it's not great in ones or whatever. But the class is still insane, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Drac ain't the only class that has issues with stuff like that. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it needs Ions, but there's like Striker got shards, Mystic got shards.
True, but the shards aren't. Well, at least for Striker, I'm not sure for Mystic, but for Striker, the shards don't. The more shards you have, they don't like worry about like the damage. Like without Drac, or without Ions on Drac, your damage is like cut drastically. Without shards on a Striker,
when they
you still
do have
damage.
the Ions, they're nearly one-shotting you.
True,
I feel like it all balances out. Personally.
True, but it's like the problem with Suck Drac right now is that they nerfed it so bad to where I think you have like 3 skills that give you Ions. 2 of them you have to go hit a mob, right? And you can only use 1 that's protected that gives you it just by hitting air, and it fills your bar by about a good 20%. So you gotta go find some mobs, which good luck doing that in Node War. You gotta go hit a horse.
Okay, well, if they're gonna buff the way
What do you mean? You can
that
just hit an
class's
annex.
ions works, they need to
You just go
nerf
what?
how much damage it does when it has.
You just hit
ions.
a fucking annex. You can hit a fence. You can hit a fucking gate.
Anything
you
that
can
gives
hit...
you a hit marker, pretty much.
Yeah.
True, but it's also unprotected. So it's like you have to be at a base, right? Let's say you're open field. You got to go to a base or go find a base. I
Yeah.
feel like
Um,
it should have another way to get ions besides those 3 skills.
I do think it maybe
No, I
giving
agree.
it
I
a
agree.
protected skill that helps it get
Oh, no.
ions is also not a horrible. I'm not like opposed to it, honestly.
So you would say remove the E buff and just give it another skill that gives it ions.
I mean, it can keep the E buff. I mean, because at the end of the day, E buffs are, every class, and they're like 3-minute cooldown and shit like that, or whatever. I just think maybe it needs more ways of gaining ions, and maybe more, even if it's adding like more protected skills that help it gain those ions. Because there's classes that can get like shards, whatever you want to call it, martial shards and stuff like that, just from doing protected skills, right? I mean, I don't see why not have Drak have the same like type of ordeal with that.
I feel like you do. I feel like it's either one or the other, right? You either give the ions back when they pop the E buff, or you get another skill. I feel like giving it too much ions is a little back to the broken Drak where everybody's on it and you're getting one shot constantly.
Yeah.
There's no downtime.
See, the difference is classes like Striker and like when they get the shards and stuff, their damage doesn't increase. When Drak gets her ions, she's nearly one-shotting people.
Okay,
It's almost like her damage gets doubled whenever she gets her ions.
So, just a proposition as someone who doesn't play Drak. What if we took the requirement of farming ions away? Like, just say a Drak dies, spawns up on node, it already has ions, but its damage was nerfed from what it currently is, so it's not coming off node one-shotting people. It's not to the point where it's useless and it's not doing any damage, but what if we found like a nice middle ground between that?
I feel like that's like changed the entire class identity, right?
Nerfing its damage?
Well, you're saying just like get rid of the whole ions, where it's like it doesn't need ions, but it does damage.
Yeah. Taking the inconvenience away of having to actually go and farm ions, because Cammy's right. If you're in a losing fight, you're not going to be able to farm ions.
Yeah.
So what would the point be? So what if we just either A, give it a skill that gives it max ions just off rip, or
I'm saying, like,
taking the requirement. But E-buffs every 3 minutes.
Or, hear me out, what if they buffed its base damage, right? Slightly, not a whole bunch, just buffed its base damage and nerfed its ion, like the damage it has when it has its ion. So, like, overall, it'll be doing more damage because it's damage without ions is buffed.
You saying it's doing more consistent damage?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the way I see it is whenever a Suck Drak has its ions, right? I don't know about y'all, but them things be 1 and 2 shot me.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is another way to help the classes like this with their people that consider their Magna skill useless on the class. Steve said gaining ion regen onto its Magna skill.
It's like if it uses magnets, it gets ions. Instead of it being on the E buff, put it on the Magna skill.
Yes.
And that'd be the 4th skill to give it ions.
Yeah.
Because all I'm hearing in my ear right now is making it where she has her ions more often. So she's almost full ion 24/7. But I don't know. I feel like what I said. I feel like that's probably the best fix for it is just to buff its neutral damage and nerf its ion damage, and its overall damage is more consistent. But like when it got its ions, it ain't running around one shotting big. Because I've been seeing clips that Suck Drak gets all of her ions and she runs into a ball and gets a 10-piece. Like that.
I feel like that's the identity that she is a bomber. That
is more than a bomber. That is a nuke.
That's a nuke.
That shit is depression simulator.
Oh, shit.
I feel like you survived that initial wave of she blew my back out. You know what I mean? If you survive that,
Huh?
she's gone.
Yeah, but like,
Hell no.
I
so this
just
is
don't feel like
this is
that
what
should
I'm
be what it
saying.
is.
Instead of, but I hear that, but at the same time, that's kind of like a skill issue because that's something that should be called out. Like, she's not just, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not sitting here saying it's gonna happen every time, but you can just say, hey, bro, instead of us getting fucked behind no Diddy, you know, we just grab this motherfucker.
Not this.
So.
No Diddy.
What? So that's all I'm saying.
So what I'm hearing is two things. I'm just gonna put them both down. Or reduce ion damage and increase damage.
It's base damage
No.
without ion.
Increase skill damage without.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm seeing for Drac and the
I think those are-
responses. People just wanted really protected ways of gaining their ions for Suck Drac.
Yeah, they wanted to be protected so they can one-shot you. When they got their ions, they're one-shotting you. I don't care what you say. It's yes, it's an issue. There's an issue with them getting their ions. Yeah, okay, cool. But when they do got them, they are the hardest
They're
hitting class
the
in the game.
problem. Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, like Suck Drac is not a bad class. It's just the ions are inconvenient, and then the ions are what take it from being either useless to a good class.
And I feel like it should be inconvenient. If you're inconvenient, just so you could go one shot a group of people, I mean, I feel like that's a good trade-off, is it not?
Yeah.
I mean, you ain't wrong.
Oh man, I got to go do this so I can go get a 10-piece. Dang. What?
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
Yeah, no, I gotta get. Yeah, when you say it like that,
Oh,
Yeah, that's fair.
Steve is right though.
All right.
There's archers that do that at range. Damn it.
Well, we already talked about Archer.
Yeah.
That guy's got
But,
a problem.
Yeah, I think
Let's move on
that's
to
pretty much it for Succession.
Oh, one more thing. One more thing is it still has the mana drain on its PA.
Oh, the
right?
PA.
I think that's fine. No,
What's the
I think
cooldown on the PA?
that I don't.
I don't know.
Any Jackson channel the cooldown on PA?
it's like 30 seconds or something like that, isn't it? It's pretty long. Is it like a minute? Up there though.
40 seconds.
Yeah,
40
it's,
seconds on PA.
yeah.
I mean, fair enough. If you see the Drac PAing, you shouldn't be engaging on it anyways. But I think
should be
mana.
engaging. You should call it to a grab class near you. You know, go grab that.
But I think
feel like it's
mana
double-edged
drains just
sword.
in general shouldn't be in the game.
Yeah.
I don't like the mechanic behind the mana drain stuff.
Yeah, I get that.
Oh, I know you don't.
I feel it's a double
Yeah.
sword.
You run out of
where
mana,
it's
you
like-
can't run no more.
Depending
Well,
on
it's
what
like
class you're fighting, you either PA or you don't, right? Because if you, let's say for example, you PA, there's a grab. If there's a grab class, you're not PAing at all. If there's not a grab class,
Yeah.
you're PAing in front of their face.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then the mana drain. I get what you're saying as a Musa player, right? If you have no mana, you can't chase, you can't move. Same for
Well,
most
there's
players.
no.
If
It's
you have
just
no mana,
with
can't
Drac, you
fight.
just don't run into it. Like Musa has full
Yeah.
capability not to run into the Drac while she's winding up her PA because it's hella telegraphed. I just don't like like when they took it off Maehwa and Ranger. I was one of the biggest proponents of taking it off one of the classes I play. You know, I just don't like the mechanic in general.
Sure. I mean, I feel like there's bigger issues than the mana drain on PA.
Yeah.
And that
mean,
is
for
Awaken
sure.
Drag, which is our next segment. See how I did that? Anyway, Awaken Drag. We need to nerf it. We all know we need to nerf it. But how are we going to nerf it? Because they
So we were
nerfed it,
talking about
quote
the
unquote.
heals before the podcast, right?
Just get it out
Talking
of my
about-
sight.
Get it out your sight. So we were talking about these heals. Its heals are percentage base or aren't?
They are percentage based, correct? And they're on her
Okay.
attacking skills now. So before they were on like the disengage skills. Now they're on like the skills where as she's doing damage, she's also healing.
And an
And the
iframe.
damage she does is insane. So you can either nerf the survivability or nerf the damage. I feel like the mobility, I'd keep the mobility, keep it how it is. It's a fast class. She has a dragon wing on her back. It should be fast.
Yeah.
But the damage she's doing while having the survivability is insane. One of them gotta go.
I'm agreeing with Steve on this one. Aerial burst, that's one of the 10-second heals. I think it should be bumped up to a higher cooldown than just 10 seconds. Because realistically, if a Drax low, they can, and if they are good with their stand management, right, they could fly away from their opponent or opponents, and then just pretty much damn near full heal. So I honestly think increasing some of the cooldowns on it, aerial bursts. Because I'll be honest, there's a lot of classes that have heals and they're not that low of a cooldown, except for maybe Wizard's small baby heal.
By like 30 seconds? 30 seconds?
Yeah,
seconds?
at least 30 seconds.
And then another thing Phenom just said is she has like a class passive, which is insane to me. When she has like the lesser spear out, she has attack speed and AP. When she has the big arm out, she has plus 20 DP, plus 20 AP. And it's just like, why? What other class has that where you just get, I know Warrior, but like the class gets free stats along with having insane regen for no reason.
Just for existing.
Newer classes have
I feel
coolers,
like it should
specs.
at least be like cut in half or something. 10% with that much AP or that much DP, you're just getting free stats for no reason. I feel like that's part of the problem where she just gets free AP for nothing. You can build full DP on Drak and probably still chunk the way you do with like running like a hybrid build.
Mm-hmm. Let me see what some of the responses they got for Awakening. A lot of people, or somebody said reduce the percentage damage reduction for PvP on most of its kit, pretty much.
Reduce?
Or increase, pretty much.
What's because you increase though? Like Obliterate, that's already been nerfed. You got Sundering, you got Extinction, you got Savage Decree, I think.
Sundering is the one that also has the built-in slow into it, right?
No,
I think that's the scream,
right? That's the one where the dragon's roaring out the arm or whatever, the weapon.
No.
That's Savage Decree. That's the built-in slow, yeah.
Yeah, that should be removed. The slow should be removed. No, there's no reason why a class that fast needs to have a slow like that.
It literally has everything. It's insane. Slow.
The thing is too, when they're doing that dragon roar stuff, it has the hit slow where it's not actually like a slow being applied to you. But it's like hit slow or whatever. Yeah, hit stun. Same thing. It's so stupid, bro. I think that needs to be fixed.
Sundering Roar has a slow, and also has hit stun on. Move slow on Sundering. And the mini, I feel like reducing the damage somewhere. You can't trade this class. No matter what class you're on, you can't trade it.
Exactly with what more accuracy said. That sums it up.
Would you care to read what he said?
She's chunking not because of her passives or anything like that. She has lower PvP damage reduction than most classes by 10 to 20%.
So
increasing
increase the PvP reduction.
Yes, I think increasing the PvP.
You look at like all the other classes, right?
Yeah, like
they're at minus 70, minus 60, minus 80.
I'm looking at Jack right now, minus 40. Extinction, minus 49. Sundering, minus 59. Obliterate, minus 30.
Right, I'm looking at DK right now, minus 71.9.
But that's the thing. That was the problem with one. I forgot the name of the skill, but on DK she had a skill that was one-shotting people.
Yeah,
that was.
And it only had.
Yeah,
at that time it only had a 5% damage reduction. And they.
Modifier.
Phenom said the percentage healing has to be lowered too on its heal skills.
It should be lowered more than it already is.
Ready, we talked, or Whose World, we talked about increasing the cooldown for aerial. I mean, that might help it. Either or would be fine though. Whether they reduce the percentage heal or they increase the cooldown on that skill.
So reduce percentage.
They're just saying make it a flat rate.
Like most classes. Most classes are flat rate now.
So like, yo, I have Sundering. Well, I'm below 40%. I regain 200 health. Is that what you're talking about?
They're saying like basic amount to most classes like 350 per second. Like that's the standard I usually say.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. But like when Drak, like, is when you do a skill, when you're below a certain degree, you heal for a percent. So instead of that being a percent,
Gotcha.
you would heal for a flat amount.
Yeah.
So you would change from percentage base.
Some of these people, the responses, they want like lower cooldowns on certain skills on Awakened Drag.
More essays.
Make it
and
more
iframes.
essay,
What do they
more
say?
essay, more
Oh, I
essay
see
and
that here.
CCs in the core.
Needs time from an essay bus. One thing I'd like to note, they said removal of the first hit seeing as it's never used. Wait, what are they talking about here?
Yeah, go ahead and read
Oh,
it.
Savage
Go-
Decree.
Yeah, go ahead and read it out. Read it out. So that
Is it-
everyone else can.
So this person said, talking about Savage Decree here, they're saying removal of the first hit, seeing that it's never used. And then on the second hit, buff the damage accordingly to match the total amount of damage. Speed up the animation slightly. And then they said, same thing for tip the scale. They said that they would like to be, the skill for it to be reworked and have and then also for Savage Decree to have a 24% crit rate for 10 seconds upon use. And then a 5 to 10% crit damage. And then on Tectonic Slam, hot take, make it basically SA and then CC on core.
Same movement.
Cloud Strife, lower the cooldown to 6 to 7 seconds. Aerial Burst, Mob Taunt, Obliterate, Mob pull back on it. Okay, well those are
Okay, that's a good
PvE.
PVE. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that mob
PvE.
taunt. I could see that being.
PvE.
Yeah, we'll talk about
and
that
then-
when we get to that.
Yeah, and then the last one they said Burning Resolve. Classes, and then they brought up Sage and Guardian. The name too. They have extra effects added onto their class, like 20% crit damage and 10 seconds of SA. I'd like to see something similar to her, considering it's mainly just damage and accuracy. Her concept class has 3 seconds of SA, and the HB skill is 5% healing when used DB skill. I don't know. Those are just abbreviations, so I don't know the exact skill names.
20% crit damage, 10% SA.
On Burning
They just want
Resolve.
everything at this point. They just want everything. That's the e-buff. Burning Resolve is the e-buff. So they
Yeah.
want a Guardian
They want more
e-buff
to the E buff, pretty much. Yeah.
on Awakened Drag.
They
I'll
want
pass
to
on
go
that one.
crazy.
I'm gonna have
Well,
to
you got
pass it.
classes on here with movement speed as their fucking buff on their e-buffs.
Shit. That's kind of
Hell
wild.
no.
Well, it's been brought up, so I think we're all in
What's that?
agreement that it probably doesn't need to be suggested though. But,
I think everything we have on here is good, right?
the
You're
PV stuff
reducing the
they said
damage
though is kind of cool though. But yeah.
by increasing the modifiers. You're kind of cutting the healing by giving it a flat amount. She still has her movement, right? But you can move around. They reduce the stand, but you can still move. And then aerial burst, they're out of combat heal has been increased the timer. Everything looks fine.
Yeah, I think
I feel like this would
that's
make the
pretty
class
balanced.
that standard
or
of like
good.
Awaken DK, where it's not a bad class, it's just not great like the others. You know what I mean?
Right. No,
With
I'm
that,
with it.
we move on to Guardian.
This
Oh, boy.
is-
Guardian.
So what's so funny, Guido? What's so funny?
What's so funny is
Guido was on this shit and no word that one day.
Hey, that 10-second iframe that class got
Yeah,
from
what
Awakening, that got
fuck
to
is that,
go.
man? Yeah.
Starting with Awakening. All
That
right,
got to
bet.
go.
Let's start with
Yeah,
Awakening.
we start with Awakening.
Originally, it was in Global Labs along with a lot of other busted and big nerfs, but then all that Global Labs got revived. They took it back. They went off of it. But yeah, I still think that iframe needs to go.
I don't. Yeah, so I agree with the changes that Guardian got initially. You know, speeding up some of the skills, consolidating them. I'm all with that. But that iframe is that lingering iframe that has no place in this game at all. That's ridiculous.
So it should be iframe on the 3 swings, and then as soon as those 3 swings stop, you can't linger it.
It shouldn't
should
be.
remove-
Yeah, it shouldn't be as long. Yeah, it should. It should
You should be
go.
able to linger. You
And
should,
as soon as your weapon comes up, it should start going off cooldown. Just start going off.
so
Yeah.
the linger shouldn't exist.
The lingering
Yeah.
iframe on
The moment
whatever
that
that
third
skill
thing
is.
hits, it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
Awakening
at
Artist shouldn't-
the end of the
that's-
day, they still
no.
have their iframe dash. They still have their iframe fly out. What's the name of the skill? I can't remember. But where they fly out of the wherever they're
Infernal
at.
Nemesis. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they still
then
have their
Infernal
dash.
Nemesis, the iframe. Yeah.
Even the
Yeah.
wind-ups iframe.
They just don't need that lingering. Like the fact that they're just sitting there, people are just dumping damage, and I don't know. It's just too much.
Doesn't Awaken Guardian have some of the highest crit in the game too? On top of it,
Yeah, as a passive on top of the skills having almost all crit. Yeah, the passive
Pretty sure
itself
as soon as
is
she
50.
attacks, she gets more crit as she attacks
Yes.
as well. Like she has build
Yes.
stacks.
Yep.
So we talked about the iframe. Everything else good. She has a KD grab. How do we feel about that? I think it's decent, no?
That's fine. It's yeah.
That's
she-
fine.
Second,
It's a slow
KD grab.
class. So I mean, if she gets slowed, it actually she needs that KD grab, honestly.
yeah.
Is
Like the
it
combo is super slow as well.
is it Dragon's Maw? Is that the wide sweeping SA like
FG.
no, what's the one where it's the wide sweeping SA skill that has the
It's
lingering
Cleansing Flame.
damage? Cleansing Flame. So the thing about Cleansing Flame is that one, it hits like mid-range damage for a melee class for some reason. That's a thing. It's like a truck, and then on top of it, if you leave the area of effect, you still take lingering hit damage from it after the fact. I think the lingering hit damage after the fact, even if you leave the AoE, is dumb. I think that needs to be removed. On top of it, I don't think it should have as much AoE and range as it does.
I believe that's Howling Light, actually. If I'm not mistaken.
It's
They
the
buff
SA
that.
wide sweeping
Yeah,
like
I think it's
halberd swing.
Right.
Yeah, because they,
So whatever it
they
is.
combined all three swings like into a really fast motion with Dragon's
So
Maw
you
and then
want to see
Cleansing Flame, Howling
reduce the
Light.
range on.
And remove the lingering damage you get even if you leave the AoE, because it hits like a truck, bro.
I'm pretty sure it's part of the skill. Like it says Jordan's fire effect, so it's like you
Yeah,
know,
it
like
does,
Striker has a
yeah.
clone effect. It's like a summon where it's like the AoE has a burn afflicted to it. So as soon as you like, if you get hit by it, it's not, even if you're leaving, you're still getting hit by the pet effect.
Yeah, I still don't think that should be a thing, especially with how much damage it does and how much range it has. That's just ridiculous.
So you think the range should be nerfed? I feel like being there is fine, but I think the range.
I think
You think the damage is fine?
I think the damage on Guardian is fine.
Oof.
her damage
Yeah.
is definitely high, but like I don't know,
Like,
definitely for
it's-
like people with no brain cells.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like I said, it is slow. So like, typically most classes, especially another grab class, could just grab it, right? So, but obviously,
Yeah,
if you
but
don't
what if
have a
you're not
grab,
class?
yeah, if you don't have a grab,
yeah,
then
yeah, you're fucked. Yeah,
yeah,
you're fucked.
it's rough. But again, this also goes back to like certain classes are supposed to be superior than others, depending on what kind of type of PvP you're doing, right? Whether it be the 1v1 small scale or large scale. It's just unfortunate that I feel like, obviously, I personally think Guardians are obviously, they get the best out of the Blader classes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Blader's
you
no
can't
Blader
engage.
beats Awakened Guardian. Yeah, no
Just
Blader
God
beats Awakened
Incinerator.
Guardian.
What is the Blader
Yeah.
doing? Let me know.
But as for me, for my class, the only way I could try to kill him is just range damage, obviously. And that's my
Like
way to try
1v1s and large scale, Blader doesn't beat Guardian. Unless
I
it
feel like what
sucks.
Regan
Sucks
said, though,
different.
like if you reduce the damage, and the class can go back to what was before, where
Yeah.
Succession is just the spec, and nobody plays Awakening because why would
I
you?
I think it's fine where it's at. It's just that lingering iframe
it's just
needs
not
to go
thinking
away.
iframe is just insane
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah, that got to go. That got to go. If my
mean-
iframe gets nerfed, bye
But
bye.
The iframe definitely has to go. Absolutely zero debate.
Iframe, you just kind of cut the survivability by a little bit. So is that damage, but the survivability is kind of lower, where it kind of like evens out.
It has to happen because the problem is right now with what people are doing, even me included, because I'm not some Guardian expert, but I've had it tagged just for a few wars here and there. You know, you just abuse it. You just sit in there, the lingering iframe, and you wait for your other cooldowns to come back up. You're just perma rotating 4 iframes. It's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty much a nightmare where they can actually see you. You just sit
Yeah.
there and
And they can't do it.
They can see you.
You're sitting there like an immortal world boss, and people are whiffing grabs on you left and right because they think that they can grab you in it. You know, and I don't blame them because most people just don't have like that kind of gameplay knowledge on that. Most of the general players, right? But
I think Boo Boo is referring to adding a frontal guard instead of it being SA to that big AoE slash. I think it's the core skill.
Yeah,
is what he's referring
he's
to.
talking. No, he's talking about the skill I was talking about.
yeah, Howling Light. So the way it goes, most likely with Guardians, they'll do Cleansing Flame and a Dragon's Maw and a Howling Light. So it goes SA and a FG back to SA. So you want to
Yep.
go. What you want to change it to is SA FG FG.
I think
Howling Light FG.
personally, I think it's fine where it's at. I mean, I see where Boo Boo's
I
coming
think it's fine the
from
way it is.
because
Just because-
it's not like it's evasion either. It's an evasion class. It's a DR class that can get blown up still. Like,
Even though it has an FG in the middle. where
it's got a healing passive, and
It's
that's
definitely not
good.
getting blown up.
Oh yeah. But this is considered a large scale class, and it's like typically in large scale, depending on the comp, right? This class would probably get blown up being one of the front line.
I feel like the way it is right now, Howling Light fine SA because Dragon's Maw, the second swing is FG, and it's pretty slow. So as long as you know after cleansing, all right, let me get behind him so I can get the CC, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
I wouldn't really. I just honestly feel like that you nerf the lingering iframe. I wouldn't really.
I think
touch
that's
anything
it.
else on her.
Yeah, I think that's
in my
it.
opinion.
They did good. PA did a good job trying to get her up to speed with like Succession Guardian and the rest of the classes, but I think it's just the lingering. It's just too much.
So let's move on to Succession Guardian.
Buff mutilation. I already
Let me start
know.
with this first. Axe throw, 50% slow for 5 seconds. What are we doing about that?
No class should have a 50% slow.
Hell no.
Forward
No.
guard, 50% slow for 5 seconds.
No class should have a 50% slow. Even
So,
it's a slow class like Guardian.
let me ask you this. Since Guardian's a slow class, would you reduce it or would you just get rid of it?
I still like Jay's idea that slow should only be implemented if it's in the form of an add-on. I'm still a big fan of that.
Guido, Blasian, Perdello?
I agree
My
with
bad.
what
My
he said.
bad. My bad. I'm not paying attention. You said what?
No, you're fine. I was just asking, like, how do you feel about the slow? Since Guardian's a slow class, should the slow be removed entirely, or should she like keep some of it since she is, one of the slower classes in the game? Does she need that?
I think
I
it's.
feel
Go
like
ahead.
I feel like slows just in general, all together, should not be in the game at all. That's my personal hot take on it.
Okay, so I think everybody's in consensus where slows shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
And if they do exist, they should be add-on only.
Okay. I think that's
I'm done
fair.
with that.
Or if slows are still in the game, so like last time how they reduced it to 50% is the max, they need to drop that down to like 25%.
Yeah.
Because it's the same argument you guys made for Awakening, right? Like there are just some
Yeah.
classes that are just not meant to fight other classes. Well, if that Guardian is weak at fighting fast classes, then it's the same argument. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Like there's just some classes that have to be weak to fighting other classes. So I don't think it should have the slow at all unless it's in the form of an add-on.
Okay, I'll concur with that. You're right.
And then, Buzz, you were saying the mutilation gap. I know I've been hearing this. From
Yeah, the mutilation gap. I know a
person a lot.
lot of people have been begging for mutilation to not have that frontal guard gap or that gap of unprotected within that skill. So making it a full frontal guard skill, I think, is needed for that spec.
necessary.
Yeah. X-Ray said keep slows and make it where you can frontal guard it.
Well, I mean, you
I
can
mean,
already
if-
block axe throw with a frontal guard, and you won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you forward guard is slow, you're not gonna get slowed. That's already a thing.
The hard thing is like the AOE slows that will hit behind your frontal guard. Those are a different story.
Yeah.
I think Sub Guardian other than that is fine. Classes hits hard.
What did they
Does what it
say
needs
in
to.
the responses for Guardian? Actually, nobody said anything.
There are none. There are no Guardian responses. Nobody said anything
Okay.
about Guardian.
No one.
All
Because
on track.
they love their class. That's why.
It's been
I mean-
Why is there such a big gap, by the way, in these Google things between Drakania and everyone else? What is that?
I don't know. You gotta ask Jane
I
on
just
that
noticed
one.
Wait, where's Guardian in here? I don't even see.
No, no one had any
Anything about
feedback.
Guardian.
No feedback.
The only feedback I
I
know
thought
of
that was
is
a glitch. What the hell? You're right.
the only thing I know about Guardian
Uh.
is that from previous like tier lists and all that good stuff and class talk, that a lot of people wanted that to be buff, mutilation for Succession, and then obviously for Awakening, that lingering iframe needs to get nerfed.
All right,
Yeah.
looking on Guardian, going to the next class. The
Oh god,
you ask
here we go, boo
the
boo.
weakest class in the game.
Here we go, boo boo.
All right, let's start with the
Hate's
let's start
about
with
to come
Awakening
out.
here.
This was another class that had crazy suggestions and feedback.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go ahead and read the suggestion out. First one is he still requires accuracy and evasion rate adjustments. For Awakening, an additional 3% will be a godsend. A slight stamina cost decrease, and his dash will be nice too for chasing down mooses. In general, hash PvP is solid on both specs. I would address some minor buffs like have a 10% duration for the evasion rate on Serpent's Coil and having Silent Breach not locking stamina regen. And then the last one will be, honestly, Hash is in a very well-rounded class, but as far as PvP goes, the things that set him below are stamina. He's pretty much asthmatic. He's also extremely accuracy deprived, what I believe to be an unhealthy degree. Yes, he does a lot of damage, but that doesn't matter if he doesn't land any hits. That's all the Hash feedback. So I want to go and ask you guys, should the Hash Serpent's Coil evasion rate, it's currently at 5% when you're doing the spin, right? To make sure that way, as you're spinning, because you're stationary, you're supposed to be tanky, they give you that 15% while you're sitting there. Should that extend to 10 seconds? So that way, as soon as the spin ends, you still have it. For 10
Hell no.
Nope.
No, I don't think
That's nose around the board.
Yeah.
We're good on that. Knock that one out right there. So then, range grab, I think we're all good with that. Accuracy on Hash, I think accuracy is fine. They have a 9% buff and a 9% nerf. I think they're just good on accuracy. They don't really need any. As long as they're comboing, they should be fine.
Yeah, and they
That's
recently got an
I'm
accuracy
not-
buff, right?
Well, so they originally nerfed it and then they gave it back to on a lot of skills.
Well, I'm talking about
Oh.
Awakening specifically, but they have
Yeah.
9% on Inquisition and a minus 9% on Flow Dune Strike, which is one of the hardest hitting skills. I think that should be good. If you're comboing on a Hash and you're good at comboing, that should be good enough to kill evasion play in the game unless you're full meme.
When Hash has a lot of, in the Awakening spec, it has a lot of down smashes that seem fairly reliable.
A hash combo is literally like, if you know what you're doing, you can kill anyone.
Wait, Boo Boo said, "Hold up, it's not." What's not, Boo Boo?
Boo Boo doesn't even know how much damage his class does because he runs around full Eva build. How's he going to
Speed Boo Boo hits me with like 301 AP. Yo, bro, you're tanky. Bro, you got 25 less sheet AP than me, blowing me up. What's up?
Yo. Oh my
The
goodness.
ebuff gets 15% accurate, crit damage, attack speed, AP.
Bro, I need centaurs because the evasion loss. Okay.
I love
No, I
Boo
mean,
Boo, right?
yeah, I mean, the class is meant to be played as preferred in evasion, honestly. I mean, it is what it is.
I think the
but-
class is fine. Awaken
Yeah,
Hash
it's
is
fine. Because, I mean, I'll be honest.
It
like,
does what it needs to.
It depends on the class modifiers, too, depending on who, what class is fighting it. Because I've fought him, like, whether it be Valk or Wizard. Valk obviously gets decent accuracy buffs. Wizard,
would say, though,
for whatever reason,
this stamina
I feel like Wizard does a lot of damage to Hash, Suck Wizard. But there's some classes I've seen, like, and I've been watching his stream where they do 0 damage. So I don't know if it's like a build issue or combo issue, or it's just the class mods, or it's a combination of all.
And then for Suck Hash, I think it's fine as well.
I think
Suck Hash is better than it's
fine.
ever been.
I
Yeah.
think Suck Hash is balanced, personally.
I think it's finally reached that point of where it's doing well. I've been seeing Welly out there going crazy on me, not gonna lie, but I think the class is good. Even on PC, it's got that niche spot where it does insane damage. You let those tornadoes rack up, they do insane damage. It's still tanky, it's still that assassin role. They recently gave it some protected CCs, so I think it's in the best spot it's ever been. Has
The
accuracy.
thing about Suck Hash is it's punishable. Like, if you misplay, you're punishable. Like, I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
it's healthy. I think it's healthy.
You gotta manage your stuff well. You gotta.
So
know
how
what
do
you're
y'all
doing
feel
on Suck
about
Hash.
Hash's slows with the tornadoes and stuff?
And-
Right?
it needs
And
to
how
be-
do y'all feel about the tornadoes in general? The fact that they're just there. There's
I
no,
don't have
even
a
if you
problem
turn
with
off your
tornadoes themselves, but
effects.
it's the stupid ass fucking hit stun that comes with it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting fucking beaten up by the Flash over here. Getting fucking circles around me.
hit stun shouldn't be in the game at all either.
Yeah, which I think
Yeah.
hit stuns, that's something we should talk on the next stream. We'll have get that added slide, and we can kind of go over overall what all classes need help with or need nerfs with or whatever, whether it be protections or hit stuns, the performance of the game pretty much with these classes and how they run.
Fixing Magnus skill to a movement skill, something like Zerk, since it's a movement catch class, or giving evasion buff to be like other evasion classes.
I don't think Hash struggles in movement or evasion,
I
to be
couldn't
honest.
disagree more. I don't even play
Yeah.
the class, and I couldn't
Yeah, I
disagree
feel like
more.
Hatch got one of the best movements in the game.
I feel like it's one of the best Magnuses in the game. A forward guard that regens your health, that's better than DK, that's better than Warrior. At least it's usable. I feel like it's what you need to mitigate damage, right? Most of your skills are SA, so that having an FG that regens your health, your magnet skills fine.
Boo Boo said, "Get me in there. I'll explain."
No, hell no! Don't get them in here. Hell no. What you humming about? What the hell?
I feel like we nerfed the slows on in Awakening and Succession.
Yeah, I agree.
Just say nerf, if not remove slows.
Yeah, that's another class that has a lot of mobility, and for whatever reason, it has slows to just get ready to block jump grab you. Make it easier for the block jump grab.
This man with Steve said, I got 4 accuracy accessories and I can't blow you up. Is that shit a Steve issue, or is that what's up?
What class is that, Steve, that you're on?
Steve
Because Steve plays either Drac or Guardian, and those are 2 hard hitting skills. Oh my god.
Steve _ BDO.
No, Boo Boo though, if you want to type it out real quick, I mean, we'll read it out. I mean, we'll understand it. Steve is 40. That's why. Okay. I mean, other than that though, Hash is it's a cool.
What do you guys
class.
think about its grab?
I think the grab's fine. I think.
I feel like it got one of the best grabs in the game.
Yeah, I find it pretty fucking
range. It's insta cast. Like what?
I feel
think
like
it's a very
It makes my game look like it's gonna fall apart.
What do you mean forgiving? I feel like the animation's kind of if you
No, because you can.
you're kind of.
Yeah, if you fail a grab, how many times are they failing that grab?
I mean, they don't have a grab passive, so let's say, on average.
I say it's
Right,
forgiving
okay.
because I feel like you don't have to be right in front of the hash for the hash to land the grab.
True, but you can say that for a lot of things.
Like what?
Like, Nova. You got Sage.
Okay, Nova, fair enough. And Sage too. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying Hash is the whole victim or villain in this. Sage is definitely part of it. And Nova
Between
too.
Awakening Sage and Awakening Hash, when they grab you, at least on console, they just make our whole screen just shake all of a sudden. Especially if it's Awakening Sage range grab.
screen shake turns back on after.
Yeah, like your screen's all of a sudden just going haywire, and like, what's going on? Am I fucking about to crash? No, you're getting gripped up by a Hash or Awakened Sage. But
Just the
I'm not
shitty
gonna lie,
coding
all
on BDO.
grabs should have protected fails. Hell no.
That is the worst take.
Hell no.
I feel like Rangers failed animation should be way longer.
It
Yeah,
should.
one of these.
Hell no.
Let's
I
not.
mean, we'll get to it when we get to Ranger.
Yeah.
When we get to Ranger, we will. But I agree.
Let's go to the next class. Let's stay on topic. Next class is gonna be Kuno.
oh
I don't think there's not that many Kunos.
Let's get Sakura in here and go today. I don't know.
yeah,
The
that's a
only
dead
Kuno I
class.
know. Nobody plays that class.
I think Sek Kuno's fine.
So Awakening Kuno, I know
because it's bad.
Awakened Kuno, recently got buffed. It has pet damage, and the pets is like a vacuum and a slow, if I'm not mistaken, right? When it does that spin, like all around spinner skill. I don't think a Kuno should have a slow on that skill. Vacuum, it's whatever. But I don't. If anything, this class probably does need a little bit more love to compete with its counterpart Ninja.
I would definitely not.
Would you?
I wouldn't nerf anything currently with the Sage season until we get like a baseline for what PA wants to do with her.
Would you buff the stamina? Because currently it's asthmatic.
Yes.
Everything on Kuno kind of uses.
Yeah, they can probably revert that. Yeah.
Yes, Sukuno. Did the change go through where Sukuno loses stam while they're blocking?
Yes.
No. They changed that, so now they no longer lose stam or blocking, which is nice.
Perfect. Yeah, that was the biggest, wildest thing.
But what about the previous patch before that, where they nerfed the stamina all her skills?
Well,
I mean,
so Kuno,
it's still an issue where it's like you run out of stam. What are you doing? You're holding block, waiting for a skill that costs stam for your stam bar to refuel so you can use it and get out. You know what I mean?
like I play Suck Blader, and I can admit that Suck Kuno is the most asthmatic class in the game by far.
Yep.
What's up about using this new word, bro?
What, asthmatic?
Y'all ain't use that word
That's
That
not,
is-
that's not a
that's
new
just-
word
that's
right
not a
there.
new word.
Nah,
I need
nah.
you to up your
Yeah,
vocabulary.
live. You know what I'm. You know what I'm.
Is that shit even English? Let me look it up.
No,
Yeah,
like,
live.
asthmatic?
Yeah, live. You know what I'm saying, bro. Live. You know what I'm saying right
I
now.
don't know what you're saying,
Ain't
bro.
nobody start
Yeah.
saying that.
It is real. Holy shit!
No,
It is a real
no.
word.
What I'm saying is nobody
course it's
used
a
that
real
word
word.
until
What
nobody
the-
used that word until live used it
What the
earlier. Is what I'm
fuck?
trying to say.
I've been saying my
like-
class is asthmatic for years. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Never mind.
don't-
Never mind. Never
I
mind.
feel like
Yeah.
Kuno, the stamina
All I'm
kind of
saying,
balances
I
Kuno.
ain't hear that word all day until live said it. Just
Because-
saying.
Pre stamina of Kuno. Whew, good
Zero.
Oh, it was
How do
nuts.
y'all
It was
how do y'all
nuts.
feel
Right
about
after the reboot,
how do y'all feel about Suck
Yes.
Kuno's
Yes,
100% BSR?
that's fine.
I think it's good.
So,
Okay.
I will say
It's one of those,
on the
like,
next
it
stream,
has
I
been-
definitely think that most classes BSR should get reworked.
Oh, I agree.
classes.
I would say their
I would
ebuffs and BSR's next stream would be
Yeah.
really good. Topic.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
Oh my
So,
god, the ebuffs
Kuno
are
had
garbage.
flows, and I'm gonna go to the next class because we're kind of running out of time.
What am I listening?
Next class is Lahn. Let's start with Awakening.
What's the responses we got?
Stam.
Check it out.
Give it stam. That's the responses.
Stam.
I agree about the stem.
I agree with. I agree
agree.
that
Needs
Awaken
most
Lawn is needs some
I agree.
stam fixes.
Needs
Delete
both.
it.
Actually,
Fly.
more protection than iframes. Stamina.
We didn't cover Sark yet, guys.
Stamina.
Chun sent me a DM.
Chun got the light. So I'll be honest. I'm gonna give my input about Lahn on both specs. Take it how you see it. Suck
Okay,
Lahn,
cool.
I think, is amazing. Obviously, for large scale,
Yeah.
does its justice. Awakening, maybe not so much with the large scale. You can, but it's not the same as Suck. I do think Awakening is more of that duelist spec.
100%.
Versus Suck Lahn being the more large scale player or spec.
Yep. Feel like
That's why I think it's okay for Awakened Law not to have so much of a stand buff. I do think
Really?
maybe Succession could probably go down, be tuned down a little bit.
So Chun sent me some changes. I'm not going to read the whole paragraphs that he sent. I'll just TLDR it.
Go ahead.
Basically, Sucklon needs stamina regeneration on Taunting Death and Deadly Dance.
Damage and-
Give it back.
Mhm.
Give it back a KD. A Flow Mangler should have its KD back, but make it unprotected.
Yep. I
That's
read
fair.
that.
That's definitely fair.
Forward guard should be given to Blood Moon Twist and Binding Chain. And the core should be replaced with SA Flail Blade. And damage buffs are needed overall instead of. So he wants like 10 to 12% damage reduction buffs on Bridle and Deadly Dance.
Brutal, yeah.
Bridal 72. He wants 12%. Not
He
taking
wants 60. Yeah, he wants 60.
Yeah. And then what was Deadly Dance?
Deadly Dance is
Dance is
66.1. He wants 56.
Deadly
Really?
Dance got switched to a
That
full
beat-
SA skill, right? It's no longer a
No.
frontal guard skill.
Say that. Wait. Say that.
No.
Say that percentage again.
So Bridled has 72.2. He wants it to be 60. And Deadly Dance is 66.1. He wants 56.
It's time for seismic return. It's time. That's all
not-
I'm hearing. That's all I'm hearing.
Nah, 56 is crazy though.
Yeah,
With
that's
a,
not
with a-
happening.
with a skill like that has an air attack and air smash that floats. That is
And it goes
insane.
through FG too. I don't
Yeah,
know. I think
like-
Deadly Dance hits like a truck, to be honest. I think it's already pretty solid.
What I remember from the old days is Crisis going Deadly Dance, Tailspin, Flow Vice. You're dead. That was it.
Crisis is like, I don't need to grab you because I got
Christ.
Deadly Dance.
That's all it was. Now I would say give the KD back to Mangler. He said he wants to add the frontal guard to Blood Moon Twist.
I think that's
Frontal
honestly
Guard
fine.
to Blood Moon Twist and Binding Chain.
I could see them giving that KD back, especially if they remove the protection on it, just because like if you're like 1vxing maybe on Awakened Lawn, then you might have shit on cooldown still, so you need that additional CC because there's not much in the kit without having to swap to like pre-awaken.
With classes like Awakened Lawn, you're playing on a timer. You either kill them fast enough, or else you run out of stam and then you're dead. That's kind of how it works.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say is I feel like he said he wants FG on 2 skills to have CCs, right? Problem with that is no skill or no Awakening kit has a FG like fully CC. right? So if he wants FG on these things, is he gonna get rid of the CC that's attached to it?
Well, he said Flow Mangler needs to return to its original state, making it a KD and unprotected.
Correct, but okay, that would just change it because right now currently it's a SA, but it's not a KD. So he would just switch it to where it's a KD but not protected.
Well, unprotected.
But Blood Moon Twist is currently a KD, and he wants to add FG to it. That would make it FG KD, which make it broken.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, there's
binding change. Binding chains is a bound, but giving it FG make it an FG bound. Then again,
I would rather deal with an FG. I would rather deal with an FG KD than some classes SA KDs.
Okay, well, give me one.
Crevice.
That's a bond.
I know, but I still think it's the fact that it's even possible is stupid.
Well, man, that's things like every class has something that's stupid, right? You look at Spiral. That's you can call Spiral stupid because it's an SAKD, but that's a bond. Bonds make the game quote unquote stupid. That's what people want to remove. But what I'm saying is bonds give Awakening that protected CC. Without a bond, there's no protected CCs in Awakening.
Well, okay, fair enough. But what if we actually replaced it with maybe a useless bond and made that a bond, an FG bond with a KD? I think that would be a solid like swap to it as well.
Okay, I can see that. I feel like most ones just run Deadly Dance, but you could say remove a useless bond and add like a Blood Moon bond, I guess.
Yeah, give it some variety instead of just strictly running Deadly Dance.
So let's say you can remove like, I guess a Bridal bond. Remove this. What would be a useless bond on Lahn? I know people use Eradication.
Yeah, probably Eradication.
Pure people use probably. I think I'm just gonna get rid of Taunting Death. I think that's
Chun says Tailspin Float is pretty bad.
okay. Move Tailspin or add Blood Push.
Jane, you still there?
Who, me?
Well, she is here.
Whoa.
Just came back. I won't lie. That was good timing.
Read the chat
She's
real
been
quick,
listening the
Jane.
whole time.
Nah.
So
And
Stanley,
then we're gonna go to
Jane.
Sucklon. Sucklon. Anything wrong with Sucklon? I think Sucklon's a fine class.
No, fly.
For what it
He
does.
sent a couple paragraphs about that as well.
Couple paragraphs is crazy.
Damn, Chun.
Paragraphs is
All right, so in my opinion, there is a problem with Sucklon. It should not be able to jump in, fly, run a full SA combo, and then jump back up in the air.
Oh no, he said he wants
You
to
shouldn't be
nurse.
all to do that.
So let's see it. I'm actually down
All
for
right,
it. I support
let
it.
me let me proofread it real quick just so I know what the TLDR is. Skill Prime Pendulum Cleaver is the most useless prime skill.
no benefits.
Suggest,
Yep. Wait, I see it right here.
yeah, he wants to put a -5% evasion rate on Prime Pendulum Cleaver.
I think that's fine because Sucklon does lack accuracy, like killing evasion targets.
Mention
heavy
removing
evasion.
HP recovery on Pendulum Kick and putting it on a different skill. Half the attack speed on Pendulum Kick from 18% to 9%. Blooming
18%
Nether Flower should be. Yeah, it has 18% now. He wants 9%.
I think it's so broken.
Blooming Nether Flower should have Pendulum Kicks plus 30 HP recovery instead. Morning Dew is inconsistent when landing.
That's a bug.
Welcome to the
He said
club.
a simple fix is should pull targets towards you on if you successfully land, and then performance is holding Sucklon back.
I'm not gonna lie, I only got the Pendulum Kick part.
That boy's typing with 2 fingers right now.
Yeah,
Chill
so,
out, chill out.
so
Whoa.
no, are you ready? Let me see.
Prime Blooming
Yeah.
Nether Flower.
He wants to swap the HP recovery to Pendulum Kick.
Yeah. So these are all like niche buffs. I feel like.
They're
They're
very
very
like
niche.
Lahn main specific. Like only a
Yeah,
Lahn main would
like
know
I
about
played
it.
Lawn
Yeah,
for 6 years type.
yeah. Like I sleep with a Lahn body pillow every night type stuff.
Damn.
Hey, you said it, not me. Anyway, this is the reason why the worst Lawn on console, Chun Hao, doesn't play
Doesn't play the class outside of Prestige. Yeah, you have the same. Yeah, you're saying the same thing I'm saying. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Okay, so it's just niche stuff on Sucklon, like moving the regen around, stuff like that. Nothing major.
Somebody said more protections and iframes in the response.
I think Sucklon's fine as it is. It goes in, pendulum kick, it repositions with an FG into like a SA bound, and
Into
then it spins on top
blooming.
of your body, and then it flies away.
Yep, and then
It
flies
does what
away.
it does, and it does it very, very well. There's no need for it to be buffed or nerfed. I think it's fine as it is. It can be countered simply as by being an SA or by grabbing it.
Yeah. I mean,
Comes
it
at a
serves
render,
its
but, like,
purpose.
that's-
It serves its purpose in like
Yeah, it comes at
group
a render,
fights.
but that's just a game issue. That's not a
Yeah.
class issue. Just because you can't see it coming in at a render doesn't mean that the class needs to be nerfed.
Yeah. How do y'all feel about stamina on Sucklon?
It's fine.
It's fine.
I think
Yeah,
it's fine.
it's fine.
Next class, Leo. Sure.
What is it, Maehwa Musa? Oh,
Yeah,
Maehwa.
Maehwa.
What do we want to start with? Suck or Awakening?
Let's start with Awakening. The cold.
Okay.
I feel like that spec needs buffs. You don't see people.
It's the,
I
the
think it's
problem with
outdated.
the problem. Yeah, the Awakening Maehwa's kit is just very outdated.
First and foremost, buff stamina.
I mean, that's just a Blader thing other than Awakening
Everything
Musa.
on the class costs stamina. It is insane. You can't even do
Yeah.
a skill without stamina. You
Yeah,
can't attack
and then
without stamina.
and then 80% of its kit is FG, so you lose your FG, you can't even use your kit.
So what ideas? Let's give PA some ideas. Like, how can we buff stamina? Right? Like maybe stam regen on certain skills, or
Yeah,
what are some solutions that we can come up with to help this spec?
So I don't play Awakening Maehwa. However, I have like friends that do, that complain about it all the time, and just from stuff that I've seen. And a lot of its moves, and first and foremost, I think everyone's heard about the sleep steps
Yeah, I'm
needing
gonna say, that's
an iframe on it. That's like the first and foremost is sleep step getting it. It needs to have iframe on it, as well as regain stamina on it. Even though it's a short iframe, it would be a short iframe. It still would be so helpful. On top of that, I think that Petal Bloom being SA is fine, but it needs a faster wind up time. It's like an Ancient Wave on Awakening, you know.
Yeah.
I think that needs to be faster. Yeah. Stuff like that. I think Frostfaint should have full SA, not just SA at the beginning of the skill. It should have SA on the backwards movement and on the hit. And then honestly, like, and Petal Bloom as well.
I was gonna say Frostfang
What's
should
up?
be iframe to SA, no? I think
I
should
don't-
be iframe, and then the stab should be SA.
Either or, honestly. I'm fine with either or. Either it being full SA throughout the entirety of the skill, or being iframe into SA on hit would be great. Stuff like that would be really nice, honestly, because Awakening Maehwa does damage. Like, don't get it twisted. It does damage.
It can't survive.
It's just
it's
it can't survive, and it's just like I said, if you blow up its FG, it loses 80% of its kit. Like, why does this class have 80% of its kit is an FG for an assassin class that has no iframe to avoid damage? That just doesn't make any sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
You said increase the charge time on Petal Bloom? Or
Yeah, at least I don't know if I would say half it, but even 30% faster would be great.
the class is not bad. It's just so outdated. It's unfortunate.
It's just
Yeah.
outdated as hell, bro. It's so outdated.
You don't see it at all. I haven't seen.
It's like
I haven't seen an
Awakening.
Maehwa.
Like if we compared Maehwa to Musa, right, on all four specs, like you have your Awakening Musa that can come up to try to SA trade most classes. Then Suck Musa, right, is good at like getting catches and finishing up the work.
That's a whole different. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a whole
yeah.
different story. I'll
But
get
then,
into
like,
later.
I feel like Maehwa, both specs, like what are they good at?
So fun. I'm gonna be honest with you. Suck Maehwa's not a bad class at all. Like it
Yeah.
has its issues, but it's also really strong, man. Like
So what about
it's not
Awaken
bad
Maehwa?
thing
What
making it.
what purpose does it serve that uh unlike its
It has
counterpart
really good
Musa
Eva shred. Like Awaken Maewa's Eva shred is
killing
insane. It's
Eva
probably some of the
targets?
best in the game. Yeah, it's
Okay.
probably some of the best in the game, to be honest. But it's just like large scale. It's like you flank with an Awakening Maehwa, you start doing damage, you might kill someone, and then bam, 3 people are hitting you from behind before you can even get off Petal Bloom.
Yep. And
So
you have
it's
no
just like,
iframe. Hit
and you
stun,
have
hit
no
stun, hit
iframe.
stun, dead.
You're dead. Yeah.
Okay.
SA on Ice Fang. Awaken
Are we
Maewas
still
is
on
slow. How do you feel about
are
that?
we still on Awakening?
SA on Ice Fang.
Yeah. People, there's a slow on Awaken Maewa, so should we get rid of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Awaken Maehwa. So its rebomb is a 50% slow. It's what is it
Oh my
called?
god.
Blooming Stride is a 50% slow, but it's not like applicable. Like it's an FG and it's not like it's not big AoE. It's like very single target. So it's not like I don't think it should have a 50% slow, but it's not like you're not applying it as easy as like Moose's one step back. You know what I'm saying? So
It's the same thing with Backstep Slash, where it has the 50%.
Backstep Slash is also very easy to apply. Yeah, in Prime, not in Absolute. In Prime, it's really easy to apply. So and then with what was it called? Frost Pillars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Frost Pillars. It's no, it wasn't Frost Pillars.
Frost Flower?
It has a 20% attack speed and 20%
that's Ice
movement
Fang.
speed.
That's Ice Fang. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that has a 20%. Which again, if I'm gonna stay consistent, it shouldn't have it. But that's what it has currently is a 20% attack speed and movement speed slow on it. And I wouldn't mind that being SA instead of FG, because again, the class has plenty of FGs. Let's give it some SAs.
And
Rose
then
said, "Hello, are we smoking the pipe?"
what do you mean we're smoking? I feel like Awaken Maewa needs buffs, no? I haven't fought an Awaken Maewa, and I don't know how. I haven't even seen one. I even fought one. I haven't even seen one.
Wait, you guys want classes that move at the speed of light to have slows?
Yeah, I'm always against classes that have great mobility also being able to slow you. The class does need. Somebody mentioned something in chat. Magnesium said reduce the blooming cooldown to 12 seconds and bring back the stiff on whirlwind cut for succession May.
Removing slows from Blader isn't the buff? That's not a buff, huh?
I feel like the stiff on Whirlwind. Let's stick to Awakening, and then we'll go to Succession.
Okay.
Yeah, but also Sleep Step.
Awakening's almost finished.
But another thing about Sleep Step, Chun Mei's right. 7 seconds on Sleep Step's kind of crazy. I wouldn't mind it being dropped down to like 4 seconds.
How much? I was only 3 seconds. I think at 3
3
seconds.
to 3 to 4 3 to 4 seconds is good. Yeah.
Wait.
Y'all think the damage is fine on the Awaken May?
Damage is
Awaken Maehwa has crazy good damage.
it's
but
good damage. Just you can't get it off at the time because
you're gonna go in. You're gonna drop your FG skills. Your FG is gonna get blown up in half a second, and then more than half your kit's useless, and then you die. It's like Creed said, it's very backloaded. Like when I was saying with speeding up the attack speed on Petal Bloom into Moonlight Dash, like make that way faster.
Petal Bloom into. Yeah. I think Awaken Maehwa looks good now.
Yeah.
With this right here, at least it can move and fight. It does its role effectively. I think with this you can finally see what it acts like, if it needs damage or not. Because right now the class can't even play. Like
the class is a 2019 class. It's a 2019 class in 2024.
This is a pre-rework class.
Yeah.
I don't think it got reworked. That's what it feels like.
Its animations did, but that's about it.
Going on Succession, I know he said give the stiffness back to Whirlwind Cut and reduce the cooldown on Blooming. I know Blooming recently got nerfed because it was insane in AOS. I know that for sure. He used to have the mana drain on it, and he used to hit like a truck. You used to be 25% health.
I was a big fan of taking that mana drain off.
Gone.
So the thing is, I don't, and this is the class, this is a spec I do play. I don't play Awakening, but I do play Suck a lot. I don't really care for a stiffen on Whirlwind Cut. It's kind of just filler damage, to be honest with you. And Suck Maehwa does so much damage, generally speaking, most of the time you don't even need Whirlwind Cut. More so as just a finisher.
Yeah.
And it's a solid DP shred if you want to use it for a DP shred. I would do the same thing with Awakening Maehwa, where Frost Feint, you give it either the iframe into SA on hit or full SA from beginning to end. That would be really good.
Someone
I would be
said,
okay with a blooming decrease and cooldown, take it from like 15 seconds down to like 12 seconds to 11 seconds. Nothing crazy because it is a really hard hitting skill.
What's the put
Yeah.
on it right now?
I think
15?
it's 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Someone, one of the responses for Suck May, make evasion arrows shoot faster after the iframe. Right now, this serves as on of only the reliable iframes, and it can easily be punished as we
It's the
can't
only
cancel the
iframe.
shot. Okay. You think this?
Chase iframe's a meme, and so it really is just evasion shot. And it's so when you do evasion shot, you have to charge up the arrow, which is unprotected. You go into the evasion shot, which is iframe, and then you stand there and shoot the arrow, which is unprotected. I don't think the speed Suck Maehwa shoots the arrow is a problem. I think she shoots it pretty fast. So I wouldn't say that that's an issue personally.
You think it's fine to be unprotected with the amount of damage and the CC, the fact that it does CC, right? Is perfectly fine.
The thing about me is I don't want all these. Even the classes I play. I don't want them to be fully protected. Like I think classes should have gaps. I think classes and Suck Maehwa is a very protected class as it stands. It's got 2 SA floats. One's a multi-hit float with Red Moon. If you wanted to even take some of the multi-hits off Red Moon, I wouldn't be opposed to that because I think Red Moon is a very strong skill. If you wanted to do something with Maehwa, you would do it with Musa, where you would kind of do the same thing with Hashashin's the Sand Step stuff, where you would put like a slight evasion passive on it, because as it stands, Blader doesn't have any evasion passives other than just the set 10% that it comes with.
Yeah.
I don't think it necessarily needs that, but that's something you could do. I think Carver, I would like to see Carver be more of an FG instead of SA. It could be seen as a nerf, but you also could see it as a buff because since Suck Maehwa really doesn't have any FG other than its useless Magnus skill, you could do Red Moon Carver into an FG for some trade, some damage mitigation. I think that would be fun. And then on top of it, make Razorblade Corolla actually have damage to it, because as it stands, you don't really use the Magnus skill in PvP. You'd kind of just use it as PvE trade. So it's kind of useless in PvP. So therefore, Suck Maehwa doesn't have any FG trade.
Yes. You make it FG. You just use like as a catch, like SA. Like you would get a stub arrow and you would go in with Carver. And
yeah, you'd go in with Carver or Red Moon.
Blooming. Yeah.
Yeah, I usually do Carver first because it's a DP shred. So Carver, and then you can do decap. You can do Red Moon Blooming, finish off with Divider, stuff like that. And that's like full SA as it stands right now, except for the stub arrow. And that's 2S, and that's using both SA floats. That's why I wouldn't mind changing the Carver into an FG. Therefore, it has some FG trade, and then it's still protected, FG float, and it's punishable. Because as it stands, the problems with Suck Maehwa is one, it's heavily stam deprived. Class has no stamina in it. It needs to have some kind of stam regeneration, whether it be an arrow grapple having stam regen, or something like that. But then on top of it, it's also really squishy and just full SA. So if you gave it some FGs to compensate, I think it would be better in the trade. Make it punishable in the sense that Carver is now an FG instead of a full SA, but it also would help it survive a little bit longer than what it has. And then
you said you wanted to make Carver forward guard.
Yeah, make Prime Carver a forward guard while you have full pedals up.
I think that's good. No arrow grapple, make it regen stamina, and it costs WP instead. That way, it gives you a move where you can move. It doesn't cost stamina, and it regens your stamina.
Yeah, it's like it's like Awakening Musa's Fury Angel. Awakening Musa gets stamina back in Fury Angel. Yeah, do the same for Maehwa's arrow grapple.
I've been watching Neptunes, and that man be screaming, "I have no stam," and he's just sitting there back chasing hold block. So I think it's like Maehwa looks good as it is here. I don't think there's anything more we need. reduce.
Yeah, I don't
the
want the class
damage.
to be best at everything. I want the class to.
I mean, it's an assassin as it is.
It's an assassin class, yeah. I don't want it to be best at everything. I want to actually have it nerfed in a couple aspects in a sense of FG Carver, but in the sense that FG Carver is also a buff because it's just full SA just getting blown up otherwise. So
All right, we're good on that. This will probably be our last class for this episode, since we're kind of coming up on Node War time. But the next class is gonna be Maegu.
Oh yeah, Node Wars is around.
I don't even know what to say about this thing.
No, all right.
Have you?
I have my input, but
Let's
this
start
might.
start with Succession.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I think
go ahead, Brandon.
personally, Kobe. My bad, man.
No, you're fine.
And this
you're
is
fine.
this is
Yeah.
probably gonna be on the part 2 of the stream too, with the whole reworks of a lot of all classes in their BSR. But between between Maegu and Wusa
Whoa.
and their BSR skills, just everyone used to think Zerk 100 was like crazy, but this class takes BSR to a whole nother level and actually does damage, especially her counterpart, her sister. But
Yeah, I must say both the sisters have crazy BSRs.
their BSRs are insane. I think the 100% BSR needs to get nerfed, and like maybe I don't know how many hits it has until it catches you in with its CC, but find a way to tune that down.
What the
'Cause
heck?
it seems to just catch you on all sorts of gaps. No matter how protected you stay, this class and its BSR is gonna catch you and CC you.
So you would
If
say
you
you kind of nerfed the BSR. So instead of it being a multi-hit tick, make it probably like what, 2 ticks, 1 tick,
Yeah, maybe two.
one
or,
tick on one
two
tick on the
ticks.
stun, and then
I'll
one
be
tick
cool.
on the KD.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nerf. That would less hits. Better. How do we feel about damage? I think the damage on Psych Megu's fine as it is. I'm pretty sure they did nerf it,
Yeah.
but I think she does decent damage now for as tanky as she is, because she is an evasion class. Her clone mechanic no longer. I don't think her clone mechanic's a problem anymore. It used to be. Now she can still TP to it, but it's not that thing like it's gonna break your ankles. You're looking at your map, and it's like, oh my god, which one is she?
All right, I have another one. Remove the clone off the mini map.
Really?
I don't think the clone should be on your mini map.
Yes, I agree with that. That needs to go. Bye bye.
Why are you so loud?
What was it that Sage
that was-
used to have that they changed?
Well, Sage, when a Sage goes in Rift Chain, they have a little orb that goes the opposite direction. So people that don't look at their mini maps when they PvP would actually get tricked to thinking that Sage is going one direction, but it's actually the other.
Yeah, if I
I
got an
agree.
extra orb, then they should have an extra orb.
Yeah.
So, remove the dot on the map.
Like, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
if you PvP it and don't really use your mini map like that, I mean, you're kind of nerfing yourself. But I don't think that class should have a additional white dot on the mini map.
Yeah.
And then tankiness, she's one of the. I'm not gonna lie, she's super tanky in evasion. I think that's fine for what she is, because I'm pretty sure all of her damage is SA. Like she's in your face, holding her arms together, doing like proto swirls around her. I think it's fine for her to be as tanky as she is.
hmm
I don't really see anything else wrong with Succession Maegu. She already got nerfed. So let's go ahead and go to Awakening. Now, I don't know if y'all know, but
That's a
Awaken
sleeper
Maegu,
class.
That's next up. That class is insane. I'm talking about as a spiral, has a block jump, it's got damage, that air attack, whew, let it hit you, you're gone. I know you probably don't know a lot about it, but I think she's good. It's just survivability is kind of crazy. The survivability is too crazy. Right? She can just spam iframe. She has 4B, which is an iframe. It's like a 2-part iframe. It's iframe SA, then iframe SA. Right? And then she has her LT up iframe, where it's like 2 charges, where she can just spam iframe again. I think it should be 1 charge on the 4B to kind of like make her more catchable. Because it is kind of crazy trying to catch this class. You won't catch her if she doesn't want to be catched.
Yeah, I
She can
noticed
just
that.
block jump away, kite away, shoot you with pre-awakened skills with the range KD. You won't catch this class if she doesn't want to be caught.
Yeah, I agree. If any of y'all been in the RBF and y'all see Dodgy Bunny or whatever in there,
It's a waste of time. I don't even fight them.
yeah, like it's insane
Fight them.
trying to
Ridiculous.
catch that class.
It's just evasion in general,
Zaviva said she has an instant heal. Oh, she does? I didn't know that.
Her heal's
Is it
insane.
protected?
So
Is it protected
no, it's not.
too?
It's not protected, but so her heal's LTX, and it's a flat heal. Restore 40% of the Maegu's health. And the crazy part about it is, it's not affected by Scholar's heal debuff.
Wow.
So you're hit by a Scholar with the heal, you're full up 40%. Doesn't matter if you're debuffed or not.
So she's immune from Scholar's passive. That needs a.
I don't know about immune, but
that needs a nerf.
That skill at least is immune.
That needs a nerf. Nothing's getting in the way of a Scholar's pass.
I'd probably go from 40% to like 25%. I think a quarter health back on an unprotected skill, I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Especially on an assassin class. I think 40% is too much. It gives you too much leeway. That's almost 50% of your health back. Let's say you're half health, you pop that, you're full now. That is insane.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't think a lot of people are playing it yet, like they are on PC. But this class, especially with evasion gear, is actually pretty goated.
Class is insane. I know people saying it struggles with accuracy. As a minus 9% on it, I think that's pretty much it. As a minus 9% evasion rate, it has no plus accuracy rate on it. Don't think it should be buffed that way. I think you should just leave it so that way.
I mean,
if you
it's an assassin class, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's supposed to be going for DR classes, like you're the archer. It has a block jump for that reason. They go for the archers, the suck rangers, the zerkers, the people that have forward guards in the back. So I think if you want to kill the tanker, you should have to build accuracy instead of having to just, oh, my class has built-in accuracy type thing.
What are some of the responses we got on Maegu? Never mind. I'm not even gonna read it.
Attack speed buff, bigger AoE.
Yeah, never mind.
Accuracy department, they're still saying her accuracy is low. Modifiers on
a lot of people are saying remove the BSR spam. What is this BSR spam? I know Lindorn said it. Now Henny's saying it.
BSR. I'm not sure what that is. They have to inform me.
What is it like? Is it like they can spam their 10%? Even if they're at even if they're at 0% BSR, they can spam it. So if I had 0% BSR, you could still spam the 10%.
No, I don't think that's what. It's kind of like Musa, where they, you know what I mean, like Musa like spams like 10%. You know what I mean?
Oh, I
like
see.
Maegu,
yeah.
It's like the 10% probably chunks so hard,
and it gives SA and it gives it protections too. Yeah, honestly, that does sound kind of broken. Probably should.
And you can use it on cooldown. Wait, what?
Yeah, that needs nerf.
You can spam the 10% and you're able to use it on cooldown. That skill is also a spiral, by the way, so it goes behind front of guards.
Oh yeah,
doesn't
definitely.
matter what you're doing, you're getting CC'd.
Yeah, let's add that to the list.
Should it be a spiral or should it just be like? Because the problem is this CC's on every hit. So should it not CC on every hit, but instead just CC on the first hit and the last hit maybe? Or what is first and last hit? Even then, that's still pretty crazy.
Honestly, it should probably just be on the first hit. No, but that's my personal opinion about it. I'm not a huge fan of classes that can CC through front of guards like that.
Should it CC on the first and last or just the first? I think
I think it makes more sense. Really it makes more sense for it to be the first hit, rather than the last, in my opinion. But they're saying the skill also does a ton of damage, and it probably doesn't even need a CC. But I guess if you had to choose, then.
All right. I think with that, we're good on Maegu.
You want to do one
Um,
more? I think we might be able to squeeze one more out, unless you,
You
got
want?
a.
You think we can squeeze Musa in real quick?
Nah, I
Oh,
don't
probably
think so.
not. Okay, never mind.
I'm about to say
This
Musa's
is,
gonna be like a hot topic.
Yeah, I'm about to say Musa does have a lot of
Yeah,
response. I wasn't sure
I'm
what was
pretty
up
sure
next.
All the next ones are hot topics.
Jerry's
You got-
smiling over there already.
You got Musa, Mystic. You got Nova, Ranger, Sage. Yeah. All the next ones are hot topics, so we're gonna save that one for next time. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
there's no more
we
time,
can say Musa.
so we're gonna do
Oh.
right here.
Yeah, so chat, we'll probably the next podcast for part 2 of this will probably either be next week or the week after. We haven't determined yet. But if you want to know when it's gonna be, follow this Discord, the BDO Rooftops Discord. Janeway is the lead in that Discord, and she'll announce all types of events, whether it be partner events, GM events, and all the podcasts are in here. So y'all just be sure to check it out. Drop by in that Discord, and you'll get the notices when these podcasts or future events, whether it be ambassador events or partner events.
I also have reopened the form if anybody wants to provide any more feedback for the classes that we haven't covered yet. So
Can you
anything
send-
alphabetically
So that'd
after
be your
Maegu.
Mystics, your Sorgs.
Can you send me
Yeah,
the link
all
for
that.
that, Jane, for the
Yeah, it's
forum?
in the podcast channel.
Okay.
I will say this real quick. If you guys are going to submit feedback, make sure it's like realistic stuff, not like, you want to turn into Avatar the Airbender over here or King Kong.
Yeah, and also don't go in there and like submit feedback and just say class good.
Or buff, just buff. Like
Yeah.
if you want it to be buff, explain how.
Yeah, class good, lower cooldown, bye. Like, no.
Typically, and if you think a class deserve a nerf or buff, come up with solutions, because the purpose of this stream is to provide this type of feedback to the devs and stuff like that. And with a combination of what PC's feedback and consoles feedback, hopefully we get heard. So I mean, it doesn't hurt to try at least. So definitely provide some
We gotta get
solutions.
track nerf somehow, so we just keep putting it out there. Hopefully, some things are gonna shake.
Yep, I don't even think I can see a CM in here, though. Let's see. Let's go through the list.
Oh yeah.
0.
Yeah, 0. I see 0.
I can't even see 1. Yo, Dirk, where you at, man?
Hey, what's up, my boy Creed, Chun May? What's good with where's CM at? Where's the CMs at?
He watches
Can I-
the YouTube pods.
You watching the VOD?
Oh,
He watches.
Yo, you watching this right now? Yo, tell Korea what's up, man. When's the next balance patch? Let's go.
All right.
That's the troll.
All right.
Well,
Let's
what's
stop
going
talking.
on?
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, and thank
Appreciate
you,
guys for
Kobe.
watching. Thank you, Janeway,
Fantastic.
for having me.
Always.
Chasey Cobes.
Yep. Shiesty
Look at Nova,
Cove.
fellas.
When do you want to do the rest of them? Next week?
I'm down for next week.
Yeah, we can.
You could probably
I'm
do
down for
next week and the week after. It's there's a lot to discuss between the e-buffs and BSR.
Yeah, because honestly, the end goal for today was to get to Mystic, and we didn't even get the Mystic. So, yeah,
I think we're close, no?
We could. No, we had Musa, then Mystic.
Yeah, we're close. We're
But
yapping.
and like Guido said too, like there's a lot of stuff we could talk about with the BS overall.
Oh man, you can even just do the passives too for a week.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Like the classes passives.
Like some of the
itself,
classes, and we
garbage.
didn't really go over it. Some of these classes have garbage passives, and they need to be either reworked or tweaked up. Especially compared to the newer classes. We definitely need like a rework for the older classes compared to the new classes again. But it seems like when they keep giving us newer classes, the older ones just get become out of date. So.
Sounds good.
But yeah, I'm gonna give some shout outs. Again, I appreciate all my peers.
shout me out.
Thank y'all for being here with us. Jane, thank you for leading a great event, as usual.
Always. Thank you. Thanks
Yeah,
everyone
thanks
for coming.
for the invite, guys.
Yeah.
Did it.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man.
Yo, live, real quick. Where are you talking in right now? Are you talking in like your doorway, or there's like a big ass echo?
This
What is
man
it?
plays his video game in his living room, and there's nothing in there.
Oh, is that what it is?
There's
No,
nothing in
Rodello's
there.
a fucking idiot, bro.
This man got decorations sitting on the floor still. He ain't put them up.
Okay, all
My bad,
right.
my fault, man. My fault.
I wouldn't stand for that life.
Is this better?
And y'all be sure to
Nah,
check out
it's like,
Shiesty Cobes too. He streams on PC
chill
too.
out, bro. Chill out. Chill out.
Shiesty Coves.
Chill out. Chill out. Chill out.
Ooh,
I had to put the shiesty on him. You're way too bones with that.
Ben's alt number 49 right there.
It is. It's not Kobe. It's not Kobe. Like it's only Kobe. There is no shiesty Coves.
Shiesty
I
Coves.
don't
Yeah,
believe that.
he doesn't know. He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
It's only Kobe, not shiesty. Zero shiesty.
Shiesty Coves.
All right. Well, I'm gonna rate
All right,
somebody.
thanks everyone.
Yep.
What did I say? I'm off.
oh, not me. Hold on. Go to Avatar.
Yep.
Audio.
Later. All right, y'all. I appreciate that. Till next time, we'll definitely do the next stream. It seems like next week. We're just gonna make sure we're all good on our calendar for the schedule and stuff. But yeah, I think there's some good feedback. Make sure y'all drop the look at the Google Doc and stuff like that. Like, what did the corruption say? No. But y'all make sure to drop your input. You know, at the end of the day, we're just trying to see what we can do at our level. Give me a second, guys. Give me a sec. All right. We're probably gonna give a raid to Zerodin, a PC streamer. Haven't really. I was gonna raid Avatar, but I don't even see him online anymore. Or am I tripping? Oh well, we're locked in now. Until next time. I'm kind of twerking to this stuff. Stop the RP. Hopefully, when the Heidel Ball comes out, we'll see what, comes out of it. All right, y'all. Later.